What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode, what is this, 12? 11? I don't know. This is 12. I think this is 12. Episode 12 of the One Up Crew podcast. I am your host, Kotetsu, and I have a wonderful and colorful cast of people here with me today. This is actually the full crew minus one, right? Can I say that? Like the full crew minus one because we're missing one person.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let everyone introduce themselves accordingly. So whoever wants to go first.
Cliff, go first.
So there you go. There's Cliff.
Wait,
We're
wait.
gonna-
I thought you guys were going first, and I was.
Okay, Cliff, go first.
We didn't
Cliff, go
we didn't
first.
do an order. I just okay.
Well,
That's
technically,
just Cliff, everybody.
Yep.
Everybody clap. Everybody clap.
I'll put a clapping
Cliff.
thing on there, right?
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I'm Adam Maximum. You guys might know me. I show up sometimes. Sometimes I don't show up. But this time, I showed up. So, yo, it's me.
Adam's here when it matters. He's here
Yes.
when it matters. Oh man.
And I'm Lepasha 9 or Punisher, and I'm here for the first time.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
very
is.
First
Wink.
time.
Wink.
Well, yeah. Well, yes, this
Also,
is.
also here when it matters.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm also here when it matters.
Another person who's here when it matters. I'm just kidding. I'm not like I'm just kidding
Yeah.
with you guys.
No. I got you.
You guys are always here to support, which is always really cool. So like we always do, we're gonna kick this off with a nice little icebreaker of what we've been playing this week. Either if it's been for an hour, for 30 minutes, if you're just getting some login bonuses or whatever. So, I'll go first because I usually let everyone else go. Usually go last, so I'll go first with this one. I've been kind of doing two things this week. I've been playing Final Fantasy 16, which is like really fun, really amazing Final Fantasy game. I'd say probably game of the year for this year for sure. Just with this presentation and its gameplay is really gameplay is really fun. It's really easy to jump into, and story is just an amazing story, which really just tells the story of the entire I forgot the name of the realm, but it's not just like talking about Clive, the main character, but it really goes into like the other issues that's going on in that realm, as Clive is just like like he's not the B roll. He's not the B, the B roll of the movie. I mean of the game for the story, but like it's just nice where you can play a game where it's like it's not totally all about the main character, but you can see like how the other parts of the world in that game is being affected by other stuff, not just what he's doing. So I think that's what's really makes it really cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I did shed a tear during the game because it's just the story gets to that point. So it's once I love games that gets me emotionally invested in like characters in the world. So it's actually really cool.
I was gonna say how many hours have you put into it?
I have like 15 hours into it. And that's just me doing like side quests, and doing now I got to a point where I can do bounties now, which is really cool. Oops, hold on, let me just check something really quick. Okay, we're good. I've been doing like the bounties in the game, which is really nice. I got to a point where I can do bounties now. And I realized that doing the side quests, like I told myself the second they say there's side quests in the game, I said I'm gonna do every single side quest no matter what it is. And I realized that doing the side quests are actually really beneficial to your experience of the game. I'm not gonna say what, but I'd say like doing side quests is very beneficial to your experience in the game. Like they're not just side quests they just throw in just to kind of keep you from rushing the game. Some side quests actually connect to other ones, which is really nice that they took the time and they did that. So yeah, that's like 15 hours of me just doing that, doing everything. So that's really cool. And I recently got the ROG Ally, and I've been just doing major stuff with that. I recently put in a 2 terabyte SD into the Ally now, so it has like a meaty storage. Uh, and did I tell you guys when I got my first one, the frame was like completely like was cracked on the
Oh,
side.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was on the side of it. It was like I remember I was doing the initial setup and I put it down, and like this white flake came off it, or this white piece came off it, and I was like, "Don't tell me that's from this." So I like looked for it and I saw like it was clear as day where it came off, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy." I was like, "Okay, that's not a big deal." But then when I flipped it, when I like was following the crack, I'm like, "Where is this going?" So I followed it, and at the bottom of the Ally was like open, and
oh, damn.
I couldn't close it back up because usually like they have like the little the flaps that will keep it closed. It would not stay closed, so I said, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. So I ended up returning it, taking it back to where I got it from. And it was so quick story. It was so funny when I took it back. When I took it back, they're like, yeah, we don't know if we have any. I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't tell me that. And they said, okay, cool. So someone said, yeah, we have a whole bunch of them over here in this box. So the guy was like, okay, let me go get it for you. So he went to go get it, and he brought me this like huge like brown box. And I asked him, I was like, hey, is the Ally in here? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, so it's originally in here? He's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, you sure? And he was like, yeah. This is they're originally in this box. So I'm like, all right. So I did the exchange, and then he said, do you want to open it? And I asked him, like, can I open it? And he's like, yeah, you can open it. Because I was gonna just make sure it was good, like it wasn't broken. So when I opened it, there were like 4 allies in that box. So he almost gave me like that full box of like allies I almost took home. So he was like, oh my
Well,
gosh, dude. He was like,
he would-
dude.
God damn it, Katetsu. Why'd you have to open it? Why'd you have to open it?
Or
Because
allies.
it was
Or
like straight,
allies.
it was like 4 allies in that box. Like he was like,
The
dude, thank
potential.
you.
The
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, because he
Like, he would have been fired.
he would have been fired,
yeah.
and I'm sure they would have tracked me down because because they would have like, wait, what happened? Of course,
What happened to these 4
yeah,
ROG allies?
yeah, and of course he would have been like, oh well, this was because I gave him the receipt and everything, so they would have like been able to track that. But yeah, it was like 4 of them. And he was like, dude, thank you, and I was like, dude, I got you, man, because I was like, there's no way they're in here. Like the fact that he was
like, no way, there's like a big ass
it was
box
like a
just for
huge,
one.
yeah, it was like a huge. I think it was like a 12 by 4 box, and I'm like, there's no way. And I asked him, I was like,
There's
is
no way
it
this
in
is
here?
for one.
Yeah, I was like, is it in here? Yeah, it's originally in here, and I'm like, can I open it? He was like, yeah, go ahead and open it. So I opened it, and then it was like 4 of them. So I think I saved his job.
You saved his fucking job
saved that man's
by
job.
opening the box.
Nice.
So it was so
That's
funny.
Tokai, job saver.
I saved that man's job, so it was funny. But yeah, I've been enjoying it 100%. I know there's some issues. I'm gonna do like a video on it. There's some issues that I did have with it that I found quick fixes for, and then there's some issues that I just can't fix. I have to wait till they do like a BIOS update because there's something that recently came out that said the ROG BIOS update 3.19 dumbs down the performance, and
Oh, I heard that.
but I think I have it because I installed the new SSD in there, and I haven't run into any issues yet. All my games run fine, so I don't know like what it is that's like destroying people's consoles or handhelds, but I've been okay. Like I said, I had like a couple of hiccups that I fixed, and there's one that I gotta wait for them to do. But I have faith that they will fix it, and they will like I have faith that they'll fix it, and they can continue to let this this handheld just drive, because this has the potential to probably outshine the Steam Deck for a little bit until Valve decides to do another Steam Deck that's a little bit better. But
Which I think they'll probably do in like 2 or 3 more years.
yeah, But-
I was gonna say like what do you think so far like of like the launch of the Ally versus what it was like during the launch window of the Steam Deck. Is it pretty similar as far as like is there any jankiness
I think
so
the
far?
only thing is I don't remember the Steam Deck having too many issues when it first came out. I remember there were some, but Valve like were on them like that fast. The second someone said there's this, there was already like a patch for it. Cause I was the first out of this group. I was one of the first to get the Steam Deck, and I remember there were people saying there were some issues with it, but they were already being patched like right away because they knew about them. Um, the thing with the Ally is that well for the Steam Deck, I'm trying to think, were there like early copies out for this? I knew there were like early copies for the Ally because a lot of people had them like a month in advance, and during that month of those people having them, like the review copies, they got like BIOS patches and stuff like that, which they say it's a lot better now than it was when they got it. But for the consumers who first got them on, I think it was the 17th when or the 13th when they dropped, there were some issues. So to kind of answer your question, I think Steam Deck had a better launch because there weren't a lot of issues with the Steam Deck besides compatibility. With the Ally, there was just like it's like a mixed batch of people saying my Ally doesn't even do this, but some people are like me are like I'm not having that issue. Like I know some people were like, hey, my Ally, I can't pull up my keyboard when I tap the screen when I'm trying to type something, which is not a big deal because there's a hotkey which you can just hit. There's two back buttons. So you can hit the back buttons and hit up on the D-pad. Your keyboard comes up. Steam Deck doesn't have that. Not really, but I think the Steam Deck was kind of wonky with that. I don't know if you remember, Cliff. Like it was like, and it worked like
Sometimes it would work.
yeah,
Sometimes, like it depended on if Steam was open, it would work. If Steam
yeah.
wasn't open, then their chances of it showing up were kind of iffy. Nowadays, for the most part, it it works without any trouble. At least from what I've recently tried of it so far.
Hmm.
I was gonna ask, like, what's your thoughts on like how does Windows run? As far as like like if you want to use it as your main computer, like would you like what's the Windows experience
I
like as
would.
far as
Oh, I can definitely
like
see. I can definitely like if I had a mobile GPU, this would that would be like my secondary computer, like 100%. Like that. That's how great the experience of Windows 11 is. Um, it's the only it's not as optimized because I'm using the left stick to use my mouse, which is not an issue. But it's just like it's not the fluid motion of using like an actual mouse, right? But other than that, like it runs like really like everything is like really fast and really fluid. You can honestly like I browse YouTube on there and with no trouble. I went to different sites, no trouble. I went to different sites to download updates and drivers on my Ally because you would think that you would have to go on your computer and then put it on the SD and then put it or external SD or whatever and put it in your Ally. No, I did all my updates, all of my all of my emulation setup, everything. I did it straight off the Ally. So it's just like it's literally like having another computer, like
Yeah,
literally.
that's awesome. Yeah, it seems like a small form factor PC.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And then also, if you get the mobile GPU, like it's just 10 times better. Like your experience will be insane. I've seen it. Like I've watched the video from Retro Game Core. Like he got a GPU from Asus, and he says that it's literally just like having another computer. Especially if you have like the dock and everything. It's just like another computer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like that like I've haven't like I said I've had small issues with it, but I've been able to fix them. Like there's been fixes for them. Like I'll say one. Like one of them was I couldn't get my Xbox games to run, and it was weird. I couldn't get them to play for some reason. I did this Shrine. I couldn't get them to run, but I looked it up on Reddit, and they were like, "Hey, if your date is wrong, Xbox games won't play unless you have the correct date and time on there. So I was like,
Yeah,
so like that's interesting. So
for,
then when
for
I
some
did
reason
it,
it
it
was
fit.
like it was like factory from like the factory like they had it on like the wrong time zone or something.
Yeah, yeah. Like mine was like a day ahead. So when I fixed that, then I was able to like the second I fixed it, the game launched. Like the second I fixed it, so I was like, okay, so that was an easy fix. But there's some other things that's like, okay, well they kind of gotta figure out what's going on and fix it. But but you know that's not a big deal. Like that's not killing my whole experience. From what a lot of people are saying, like I've seen people, like I said, people are saying this and that. I'm having this trouble, and there's videos saying you should return it and all that, and it's just kind of like it's two things. It's just real quick so I can get off this. So I'll let you guys go. There's two things. It's like if you've never had, like, not everything's gonna come out the box, you know, perfect, right? You're going to have because you're getting the product out of the box, which means you have to run out of the box. You're gonna get it out of the box um system until you update it, right? With any Windows based product. Like I was watching a video where someone was like, um, I had to update while I was playing, it kept telling me to update and it was getting annoying. And I was just like, well, bro, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you're not supposed to just jump in and have this full on experience. Like, no, like you're getting a system that's already been shipped, and by the time it's whatever, there's all these updates to kind of optimize the system now that they've had it that they they found issues with before, and you have to go ahead and update. That's just a part of it. um
And that's just like a part of like computers.
yeah, like that
In
that's what,
general.
yeah, yeah, that's what you
Like
have
that
to
like
do.
that's like the first thing you do with like a laptop or a pre-built desktop. It's like
Yeah,
you open Windows, you go to update, make sure it has all the updates. You don't just
yeah,
like plug it in, just go.
yeah, exactly. So, and I think that's a lot of people who are like, yeah, I get all these updates and I have to update and it's supposed to be. I was like, well, that's what you have to do with with anything. You have to update it
A
so
new
it's,
computer.
yeah, that's what you have to do. It's gonna bug you to do it because it's like, hey, it's not optimized because it's just not. We have it right here,
Because it is
so just
Windows.
yeah, exactly. And plus, it's Windows.
I think I think in the future I would like to see. I know they're kind of working on it. I would like to for Windows to get a specific game mode for handheld devices because they're really popular now.
Hmm.
So I would like for them to have a specific gaming mode where you basically get a console like interface and
Yeah.
stuff like updates just happen in the background. It's like iOS where you could just have
Hmm.
it update in the background. When you restart, it will apply the changes. So it's not bugging you
Yeah.
constantly.
They're,
That
they
would be nice to see.
they do have something like Asus does have something with it, which is called their Armor Crate, which is like their gaming hub. So once you first open Armor Crate, it says, hey, you can use Armor Crate for this, this, and this. Like you can do your button setups for each game. You can have a button map profile for each game that you play. You can have a whole bunch of options. Like they have a button on the Asus that pulls like a little side menu, like how Steam Deck has it, where you can change the performance modes. You can change either the control setup to either, like, because it's default at auto, so it either will jump depending on what you're doing. The console will see, oh, he's using a desktop. He's using the desktop function, so we're gonna keep it at desktop so you can use your mouse and all that. And if a game initiates, it says, oh, they're launching a game, so we're gonna change it to game mode, so it automatically does it on the fly. There's something but you can manually change it if you want. You have a FPS limiter, so you can like you can limit how much FPS you want from a game. You also get the little monitor to tells you all the numbers and how what watts is playing, how much watts is being pulled from it. You can tell how much battery you have from it as well. I was scared about that. I was like, how do you know my battery's gonna run out if I'm playing a game? You just open that up and it'll show how much battery you have left. And it charges really fast. It charges really fast. I'll say that. I think it takes me
Yeah,
like 30 minutes to charge this thing.
I heard that like it has like really good charging, which that can kind of that kind of fixes the issue
The battery.
about powerful chips, but the battery technology just hasn't improved yet. So
Yeah.
being able to charge really quickly,
Yeah,
even though
this
on the Steam Deck it takes at least like an hour,
like an
an hour and a
hour.
half.
Yeah, this thing charged like 30 minutes. Like I'll say like I was at like 20% and I plugged in my Steam my Ally and I went back to it just to like cuz I was doing something on it. So I went back to look, it was already at like 80 like 88% and I'm like, dude, this thing charges really fast. So yeah, that's the good thing about it. It charges really fast. Um and then there's just there's a lot of other functions on the armor crate, but then also the armor crate, what it also does is it automatically has it automatically um it has the option to cultivate any it has a setup to where if it says, hey, if this person downloads from Steam, we're gonna throw the Steam game onto our armor crate. If this person downloads from Microsoft Game Pass, we're gonna download from there. GOG goes on here. Ubisoft, Epic Games, EA, it automatically goes to armor crate. So it has
Okay,
this.
so it's kind of like the backbone.
Yeah. So pretty much, like whatever client you use and you download it from there, Armor Crate's going to. You don't have to set it up. It's already like It's already set up already to say, hey, oh, you download your games from Ubisoft. Okay, we already have that set up for you. So the second you download something, it's gonna come straight to Armor Crate. So Armor Crate is like your like one-stop shop for all your games instead of going if you don't have them on your desktop, you have to go to the launcher. Armor Crate automatically has all that stuff in the launcher there. So that's really cool. It's kind of like a like what you're saying. It's not the answer to like a Windows game mode, but um, it is kind of like a makeshift one to where everything is on there. Everything is on that hub already, so you don't have to like jump to different clients just to play a game you want to play if you don't have them on your desktop. But yeah,
Nice.
that's it for me. Now I've been talking ear off about that. I like I said, I have a review coming up that I'm gonna do about the ROG Ally, so it's actually pretty cool.
I can't wait to see it.
Sounds like fun.
All right, who wants to go next? 'Cause I think I've been talking for like 20 minutes about about what I've been doing.
Oh, Cliff.
Well,
It's an-
I guess I guess if you say so.
We had to do we had to do the joke.
Mhm.
Well, I've been playing this little niche game called The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Mhm.
I've not heard of that game. Can you tell me more
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah, didn't we talk about that the last time, Cliff? We had a whole podcast about it.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I wish
what
I
I've
was
been
there
doing.
to make sure no one talked about any temporal any temporal implications.
So
Oh my gosh.
what I've been doing is like I've already beaten the game at this point. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm trying to get all of the shrines. I'm
Mhm.
at 105 right now, so I'm almost there. And I would like to get all of the side quests just to just to add some more stuff to do in the game.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I should mention it now or later. Maybe later, maybe later, maybe later.
Yeah.
It has to do with this game,
Mhm.
but I'll mention it later. But so far, it is kind of a it's it's kind of it's not sad, but it's it's an interesting feeling, uh, knowing that like I've been in the game and now it's almost gonna be done as far as like the main the main quest and getting all of the shrines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's really good.
Yeah.
They really improved on the Breath of the Wild formula. And I can't wait to see what they have in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Certainly seems like an awesome time. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. I still gotta pick it up at some point.
Yes,
And,
Adam.
Yeah. It'll definitely eat up eat up your time, like for sure.
yeah.
Definitely
Oh
eat up
yeah.
your time for sure.
Mhm.
Oh, let me
Uh,
let me see how much time I have in Tears. I'm scared. I have 107 hours.
How many?
170 hours.
I think that's how many. I
Uh,
think Cliff has at least
well,
over 200. Really? Only
I have
175? I don't know why, Cliff. I thought you have more. I thought you have way more hours than me at
yeah,
least. Like
I
at
thought
least
you left the game
200s.
on. Yeah, I thought you left the game on like at all times or something.
Oh, to not lose the exploit on there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was
oh
so mad. So
The,
mad
the
I
only
updated.
thing.
well, I mean that situation's pretty much solved itself because I can quit the game. I just have to not press download.
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
Yeah.
well, I did that, and the game messed me up. I didn't have it on. I think I already had it installed, so it was like when I quit it, it just downloaded by
It just
himself.
did it anyways.
But luckily, there's been some cool glitches that have brought my experience back to the game. So I'm good with that now.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well,
yeah.
hey,
Whoever, Adam, you wanna, or Cliff,
Yeah.
are you?
I was thinking, yeah, Cliff, if you're done explaining what you've been
Yeah,
up to lately, I guess
that's
it's my turn then. Yeah, lately, I I ended up obviously picking up Street Fighter 6 when that came out. I've been playing the heck out of that. That's been kind of like my vibe lately.
Mhm.
The single player is really fun. Um, like it's super fun, super goofy. There's a lot of cool Capcom references.
Yeah.
Uh, the like the online is like super good, except for the occasional hiccup here and there. But it's been a really fun time. Um, it's been really cool playing it with friends and random people, and it's been like a really exciting launch for a fighting game, and I've been wanting that for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. I would say like because I have it too, and I'd say I haven't been really hyped for a fighting games in a long time, and Street Fighter 6 was that,
Oh yeah.
and it's definitely like I agree. Like I'm a really competitive player, so
Hmm.
I have a friend who's been training me in Street Fighter
Oh yeah.
6, and I just been getting
Oh yeah.
better at it. I'm
Yeah yeah
almost
yeah.
at like diamond, so just because of all
Ooh,
that.
nice.
But yeah, I agree. It's a really fun time. I love modern
Hmm.
because it's like the most difficult characters are like
Hmm.
accessible for players to jump on
Yeah yeah.
and use.
I think the multiple control scheme gimmick is a good thing. Like, and there are definitely new characters that feel like they're just made for it. Like modern Luke just feels like he was just designed for it. Weirdly enough,
Yeah,
like it's super silly.
yeah,
Um, and uh, yeah. I don't know. I think it's great for people who maybe don't play fighting games much, and I want to get more of my friends in on this game just to
hmm,
kind of play it with them, and maybe modern would be their cup of tea.
yeah,
But yeah.
for
Um,
sure.
Yeah, definitely. Besides that, I've not been playing too much. I have been. I've actually been playing the original Breath of Fire on Super
Oh,
Nintendo.
nice.
I've been wanting to give that series a shot for the longest time, and I've been having a lot of fun. I've not played like a traditional RPG in a while, and I
Hmm.
was like, yeah, I think I want to play this one,
Yeah.
and I've been vibing with it. It's been really good.
Oh, nice, nice. Uh,
But yeah, I'd say that's pretty much been it for me. Yeah, Punisher. What about you?
Uh,
What you been up to?
I haven't really played much. I mean, I streamed Tears this week. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
mm.
kind of just stalling at this point. I'm
Yeah,
just stalling. I don't want to beat the game.
Mm.
yeah. No, I got you.
Like, I'm literally like at the fucking end.
Yeah, I get that too. Like it's just like you don't want it to end because when it
I
ends,
don't
it's
want
just
it to
like,
end. I don't
yeah,
want to finish the game.
yeah.
So I'm
I
just
get that.
stalling. I'm doing all the shrines. I'm doing as much as I could to like prevent the inevitable.
Yeah, I've done
how
that
I felt.
before. Yeah, I've done that
But like,
before.
I know eventually I'll have to like finish the game. It can't go on forever.
Yeah, I think what's cool
But
about this game is like, even though if you finish it, there's still like, I feel like if you finish the game and didn't do much, you've only scratched the surface.
Oh
of
yeah.
this game. So yeah, I felt like that too. I didn't want to finish it, but then I realized that, you know what, I've only scratched the surface of this game from as far as what I've done, and there's so much more I can do after the fact. So, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And I've also been playing a little bit of Minecraft
Yeah, that's good.
because, like, why not?
hmm
The like few week Minecraft addiction that like is just common.
Mhm. Do you ever think that they're going to just be like, hey, let's do a Minecraft 2 and just do everything that we couldn't really do in the first game? Maybe like, like maybe some UI fixes, graphical changes, maybe add content that they couldn't add in the first game, but now they can add in the second game.
I feel like that's what the side games are for, like
Okay.
Legends and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Because like I don't know that like I
It
don't
makes
really
sense.
see a Minecraft 2.
Right.
Minecraft 3,
Right.
Minecraft
Or
4.
More,
like a
more
Fortnite
like a
2.
Minecraft 2.0.
Do you ever think we'll get Fortnite 2? Like, everyone keeps crying about that, right?
Oh,
Everyone's like, Fortnite 2 is announcing, and we're like, really, dude?
Fortnite.
Yeah, like it's pretty hard to do that when it's like a service game,
Yeah,
like Minecraft and Fortnite.
yeah, that's true.
Though it would be cool to see.
It'd be cool, but like it's just it doesn't feel right.
Right, I get you.
Other than that, like I haven't really played much. I mean, I've been using my Quest 2 a little bit
Mhm.
recently. It was like, you know what? I'll play some VR.
Right.
And like I just like forget how good Beat Saber is.
Yeah.
That's what I need to get a headset. I mean, a VR headset. I need to. I just don't know which one I want to get, or if I'm gonna like even put that time into it like I want to. But
I
we'll
would say
see.
at this point, probably wait till the Quest 3 comes out.
Yeah,
Oh
might as
yeah.
well, or just get like the PS VR 2 that's out right now.
Uh,
Could do that maybe. I don't know.
if it's PC compatible.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No,
Because you're
Not
pretty
at
much
all.
limiting your if you get a PSVR like and it's not PC compatible, you're pretty much decapping your library to just whatever releases on PlayStation.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, cool. So we all got caught up and we all know what's going on. Now we're gonna like jump into what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about Summer Game Fest, just everything that's been happening this past month. And we're just gonna kick it off with Cliff, because Cliff actually went to the live event when they first and where was it? Was at the Hollywood Bowl where they had it?
it was at the YouTube theater.
Okay, yeah, YouTube theater. So yeah, so Cliff was there, and we're really just gonna let him just talk about just the experience of going to just being there and being able to see all the live announcements there and the atmosphere and just the energy and all that. So I'm gonna kick it off to Cliff, and then once we do that, we're going to just talk about what we're excited to see, what we were excited to see from the Summer Game Fest. So Cliff, I'm gonna let you take the floor, man.
Okay. Well, the experience of going to Summer Games Fest was actually really enjoyable. Um, Last year I was able to go to the Game Awards, and it had a very similar presence going to Summer Game Fest. So basically, uh, it started around, I believe, 1. It was like 1 p.m.
I
when
think
it
so.
started.
I think so. Yeah.
And as soon as I got in, I found my seat, sat down, and just the energy of having this big stage and everybody in the audience. Uh, I was in like the first 2 rows, so it was pretty close to stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when the show started, just seeing Jeff live on stage. It's definitely a different feeling when you actually get to see it in person, and the hype. Like there was this one guy who was behind me. Who was a very popular. I think he does Twitch. I forgot what his name is, but basically the entire event, he was going insane. Like whenever a game would be announced, he was
Mm.
like, "Yeah, yeah, let's go." You know, like he just had this big energy to him.
Right. He
Um,
brought the energy there. One of the few who brought the
he brought
energy
the
there.
energy, and like everyone else just took onto it. But I remember when they first showed up, when they did the first announcement, which was Prince of Persia, and that just got the ball rolling. I
Mm.
was I was really excited for that because there hasn't been a Prince of Persia game in a long time.
Yeah.
Um, so it was nice to actually see one from Ubisoft. Um, the entire energy, especially I think the there was like two moments that I can recall that were really hilarious. Well, hilarious and also just like really fun. When Mortal Kombat was shown off
Mm.
and actually got the demo, like that the entire audience, like we were even I was hyping. I don't play Mortal Kombat, but I was just to see the trailer and seeing all the finishers and seeing that how you're able to you're able to pick two different fighters to join you. Like you can have someone it's like co-op. Or not co-op, but
They are called cameos. So
cameos, yes.
cameos.
It was cool, like seeing the cameo fighters and how they impact the fight. It was really enjoyable. Just having the energy of everyone else. I think that's the one thing that was really missing
Mm-hmm.
uh during the pandemic, was just like being able to actually be in person and have the energy of the entire audience.
Mm.
You know, like it's a totally different feeling. Um, another incident I can recall is when Nicolas Cage got on stage to to showcase his cameo in Dead by Daylight, and
That was definitely
it was
something
it,
I
That
wasn't
was
expecting.
it was the funniest thing
I was
ever,
not expecting
and
that.
like it's so surreal, like just like have an announcement like that, but then also to see like Nicolas Cage like 2 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
Um,
bruh.
it was something.
Nicolas
Um,
Cage is just like on his like side quest run right now.
yes,
He's
yes,
already completed his main campaign. He's just doing all the side quests.
Right.
he really is. But yeah, overall, my opinions on the show was it was really good. It was nice. It was a nice, densely packed show for it only being like an hour and a half. Like they got through a lot of good announcements. My only criticism I would say that I would hope Jeff considers for next year is I would like there to be an actual show floor to actually try out demos, because
Okay.
there was an event called Summer Game Fest Play Days,
Mm-hmm.
but it was industry only and you had to be invited to it, and it just it it's funny because like yesterday it was announced that E3 is not going to be showing up for
Next
next
two
year in
years.
2025.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me thinking about Summer Games Fest and how the one thing I missed, although the presentation was really good, what I missed was actually being able to go on the show floor and try out demos.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to. It was fun actually getting to see people. I saw. I was able to meet someone who does content for Game Explain,
Mm-hmm.
and we had chatted for a bit, just talking about the event and what we liked about it and Nintendo, and it was stuff like that um it was experiences like that, which is why I like going to events, because you never know who you're gonna see at these events. You're always gonna meet somebody new or someone familiar, and that's what I like about them.
Yeah, I would understand if they did have something like that, if they had like more developers there and if those developers had playable demos for the public. But I can also see how that could be. Now I can see it if it was like if you got there and then there was a show floor, but they didn't advertise it in the tickets, then it's like, okay, whoever is there, you can go to the show floor. But I can kind of see how crazy it would be if they said, hey, there's a show floor here in this small venue, because I don't think it's that big to where they can have like a huge thing like E3. So
Oh no, like not like like I wouldn't want it to be in the same venue. Like just
yeah,
have it in a separate venue. So like you would go to wherever the actual presentation's being held out, and then after it ends, you go to a different location to try the games. And how they can easily do it is just have a separate area for press and have a separate area for gamers. That's how they could do it.
right.
Um, that way everyone gets to go and try out because they had some really cool demos.
Mhm.
One of them being the new Sonic game,
Mhm.
Sonic Superstars, and I swear when I saw that, I was insanely hyped because being Sonic Mania was a really good 2D Sonic, and to see this game and what it's gonna do, and that 2D Sonic is actually coming back, um, it's a nice feeling, you know.
Mhm.
Especially with Sonic, because Sonic could be iffy sometimes, but this one looks really promising.
Right, right. Yeah, just from I watched it and I was like, well, I see Cliff, but I don't know if I was able to. It was just it was hard to like find anyone in that crowd really because they didn't pan to it too much.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but yeah, there was some. I was expecting to see Mortal Kombat. Like that was their kind of like their selling point was they're like, yo, Mortal Kombat. We're showing the first gameplay footage of Mortal Kombat, so it's like, okay, sweet. You know, the fact that if you played Mortal Kombat 11, um, the whole storyline of Mortal Kombat gets reset. So it's like not even the same. Like Mortal Kombat 1 is not Mortal Kombat 1 if that makes sense. It's not even a remake. It's like or no, yeah, you can say it's a remake. It's not a redone or it's a remake because it's not.
It's like yeah, it's like the timeline gets reset in a way,
Yeah.
and we're back to square one, but it's a
Yeah.
different square one.
Exactly. So that was interesting to see that and to see that, you know, Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers in this one. I'm like, hey, that's freaking dope because
Mhm.
if you know they're rivals because of,
Yeah,
you know, Scorpion killed his brother, but then his brother killed Scorpion killed Sub-Zero's brother, but Sub-Zero's brother annihilated his entire clan. But now to see that that whole thing is just like redone, it's different, and now it's like Scorpion and Sub-Zero are like not henchmen, but they're like the first chosen by Liu Kang, and it's just it's gonna be cool. But I was expecting to see Mortal Kombat there. You're right, Prince of Persia was out of nowhere. I was not expecting to see another Prince of Persia, and the fact that it feels like they went back to like basics and did like the first, you know, went back to side scrolling Prince of Persia games like they've done before in the past. I think they've done one modern, well, if you can say modern, but like one kind of modern esque Prince of Persia game a long time ago. But it's not. It was nice to see this one. This one's actually pretty cool.
oh yeah.
Um, Geez, what else? I'm actually gonna be. I have the list right here because you posted it. Oh, and then they showed up Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which was actually pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Um,
I still need to finish like 7 remake, but
mhm.
I'm actually really it's cool to see this game come
Yeah,
out.
so that one's gonna be pretty dope. Apparently, someone pointed it out where they're like, "Wait, some stuff they showed in the trailers doesn't happen in the game and in like the original game," and that kind of makes sense because in
Yeah,
like towards the end of the remake, there were like pivotal scenes that
yeah,
that you know that kind of drives the story for some
yeah.
reason don't happen, or they happen but it was a different outcome than what was supposed to happen, if that makes
And
sense.
we've kind of talked about that a little bit before, Katetsu, like how the remake isn't necessarily a remake. It's touted as a remake.
Retelling.
Yeah.
It's more so a retelling, but they're kind of not really pushing that aspect
Mm-hmm.
without people playing it.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, and I am excited to see where the story goes.
Yeah,
Because
same.
those who know how Final Fantasy VII story goes, it's really interesting to see, like, okay, what are they going to change? Are there
Yeah.
pivotal moments that are going to be completely different? Like, it's very interesting to just kind of brainstorm about.
Yeah, and it just meant like someone one of my uh my music friend Zap Crystal, hopefully she's watching this. What's up? I call her Big Sis. She broke it down too. She was like, she said the same thing. You know, remakes aren't necessarily, there's a difference between remakes and remasters. So like remakes are like the way that they wanted. They can probably tell a story now because of the technology, or they can say, well, why are we just gonna completely just redo this game, but just make it look prettier? We can do it totally different.
Yeah, it's a
So
full recreation. Like you're remaking something.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. And then of course we didn't get to see much on Spider-Man, but we got a date which I'm super excited about. It is October, right? October 18th. October. It's somewhere in October, I think. Or I think it's the 20th.
It's the 20th
Okay, yeah, the 20th. October
for
20th.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, October 20th. So I'm
Um,
super excited about that.
one game that I'm actually really hyped for, and uh for you guys, it's gonna be a complete shock.
Mhm.
Is actually Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh no,
I've I'm really hyped for that game. As a quote unquote closeted Star Wars fan.
Yeah, Mister
wait,
hasn't watched The Phantom Menace.
I was gonna say, I was like, you can't be a closeted if you haven't seen the movies yet.
This is the
say you're
motherfucker who fell asleep watching Phantom Menace.
Well,
But
I say that because I am a fan of the
yeah,
game.
but
You're a
you
fan of the
haven't watched
games,
it.
but you haven't watched the movie.
Yeah,
But
so
you know
it's
what?
always an inside joke of like, I'm a Star Wars fan. I like the games.
But I think if you watch the movies, like your appreciation for the games will be a lot better because you've seen all the movies and you're like, so you have a better understanding of what everything is because everything is more explained. Like all the references, you'll be like, oh, now I understand that reference now because I watched the movies, or I understand what Naboo is, or what the Republic is, or the Separatists. Like you understand all of that because, and have a better appreciation when they're mentioned in the games because you watch the movies and you're just like, okay, this is actually really cool. Like your world of Star Wars will expand a lot more like once you watch the movies.
And I do definitely intend on watching them. Now that I have Discord actually working now. It is one thing I want to do Marvel first because I have a lot of catching up to do on the Marvel movies.
I feel like
Um,
I feel Star Wars would be better because everything is better connected. Everything's one after the other. Marvel is like you kind of gotta put stuff together to be like, oh,
Yeah.
this happened here, this happened. Star Wars is kind of like cut and dry. It's just like, hey,
Episode 1, Episode 2,
exactly,
Episode 3, Episode 4,
like
Episode
Marvel.
5.
In Marvel, you gotta be like, oh, this happened here. Okay, when does this happen? Oh, it happens here. Okay, and then there's some Marvel movies that like happen during while everything else is happening. So you gotta, yeah, unless you like watched it on Disney Plus and they say like, what do they do? Like the timeline, the chronological
There is a chronological order.
Yeah,
I just went
on
by
Disney
that and
Plus.
like basically what I did is I just I watched all the way until Far From Home.
Okay.
And
okay, so
I
you're
just
like, so you're right there. You're almost there.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
almost there.
it's been like a few movies I haven't watched.
Yeah, you're almost there. But no, I'm excited for Outlaws too because I think we talked about this. They were going to have a Star Wars Bounty Hunter game come out, but it got scrapped. But now we have Outlaws. So Outlaws is that Bounty Hunter project we're gonna get, and Outlaws is that. So I'm actually pretty excited about Outlaws, and the fact that we can finally actually take a ship and go from planet to planet. That's what I'm actually looking forward to.
Oh yeah.
Like we can actually do that now. It's not a cutscene. It's not anything. We can actually jump on a ship and go leave the atmosphere and experience all entering the atmosphere and leaving and then actually jumping into hyperspace and then going into another planet, we can do that. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. But yeah, Outlaws looks fun.
Wait. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh man, but yeah, yeah, the whole like Summer Game Fest was fun. I mean, they showed a lot of stuff. Like uh, there was some really cool stuff, and I figure like being in the crowd, Cliff, you got a chance to just kind of feel something you haven't felt in a while. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it really seems like a lot of fun, really.
Yeah,
Um,
like I'll definitely say like for anyone who's watching who's in California, definitely if you're able to go, definitely try to. Typically at least for like Jeff Keighley's events, they
Mhm.
typically if you're not able to buy a ticket, they typically have seat fillers like towards like the final like 1 to 2 weeks. They'll announce seat fillers where you can go for free.
I know that.
I found out I wasn't able to go. I wasn't able, I didn't do seat filler for this one since I didn't even know it was gonna happen at Summer Game Fest. But yeah,
But you
definitely
got a good seat
try to.
though. And they weren't
Yeah,
they
no,
weren't bad.
it was a good seat.
Yeah, I think when they were like the if I would have went, I think I would have gotten like a couple rows behind you, but it was like $75. And I'm like, that's not that bad for something like that. That's not that expensive.
Oh yeah.
That's not that bad. Especially like if I would have went, I would have been like 2 rows behind Cliff, but it was gonna be like $75. I'm like, dude, that's nothing. That's not that bad to go.
Yeah.
That's like going to a game. Like honestly, that's like the amount going to a game. So it wasn't that bad.
mhm. But yeah, if we're just gonna kind of talk about Summer Game Fest right now, we can kind of segue into some games that we, are looking forward to.
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, we could definitely do that. So
yeah,
whoever wants to go first, we'll do like a round table. Whoever wants to kick it off, and then we'll
I
just yeah.
I could give it a shot,
All right.
honestly.
All right, it's all
But yeah,
yours.
so obviously we were talking about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That is definitely something that I'm very much looking forward to. I love these games. Final Fantasy VII is just a beautiful, beautiful game. The remake is incredible. I loved the Crisis Core remaster. I'm so glad that more people can play Crisis Core. That game's awesome.
I agree.
Uh, it's just they polished up the gameplay, made it even better. It's great. Um, but yeah, for some more stuff that I was interested in, because if you guys know me, I love me some weird Japanese stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Like
that's
I was
that's that's your department.
I was super hyped to see that Akira Toriyama's new manga Sandland or new world
Yes,
Yeah,
is
I was
getting
surprised about
Sandland.
that.
a game. When
It
I
was
was
funny
watching
because
the
when he announced it,
yeah,
I thought it was Dragon Quest, honestly,
I
and then I
I
was
I
like,
knew I knew you were
oh,
gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that. Some of my other friends that I was watching the event with, were just like, "This is Dragon Quest," and I'm like, "Guys, no, this is Sandland."
and
Like I called it right away. I was like,
and
"That's Sandland."
they announced it
Uh,
like not too long, like not close, but
yeah,
they announced that they were making a. It was like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
weird teaser, but
yeah. I remember hearing about it.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm excited to see where that goes. It looks really good. I love seeing the Toriyama style, in game form,
hmm
like more and more. I love me some Dragon Ball games all the time. I love that we're getting more Dragon Quest stuff. We'll get to that later. And Sandland, it looks cool. It looks really cool. Um, and I have hopes for that. And jumping back to Final Fantasy, uh, the Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, the mobile
Oh
game,
yeah,
that
yeah.
that looks like it'll be really cool because it's going to be a way to experience like the entire anthology of Final Fantasy
Mm-hmm.
VII. Like you can play through a lot of the side games that even we didn't get over here in the West, like Before Crisis,
Mm-hmm.
the one where you like play as the Turks. Like that game I've always wanted to play. But
Yeah,
it
they
was
did
only
have
released,
that. I forgot
yeah,
about that. Yeah, that's right.
it was only released in Japan for like random like Japanese phones, like like Nokia style stuff, you know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
phones with the buttons. Yeah, you know, the good old days. But
Yeah.
regardless, um, yeah, I do really want to play Before Crisis finally. Like, I think that would be super cool. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Overall, I think Summer Game Fest, the main show, was it was good, but I think I mean, it showed a little bit of something for everyone, which is a good
I
thing.
agree.
Um, like there's some things that I am excited for, but I'm not as excited for,
Mm-hmm.
uh Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 looks really cool because I love Space Marine 1. That
I
game was
wanted
really
to
fun.
I wanted to play the first. I remember back in the day I played the
Yeah,
demo, but I never had the
yeah,
opportunity to play. I know they have it on PC,
yeah,
so I
it's really
definitely
cool.
want to try it out before
Yeah,
the
I
second game
have it.
comes out.
Yeah, I have it on Steam. It's a really fun game. Just kind of like it's a very mindless kind of. It's sort of like Gears of War
That's what I
in
was
a
gonna
lot of
say.
ways.
That's what I was gonna say
It's a
too.
it's a Gears of War like, for
Yeah.
lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, the Warhammer stuff, especially 40K, has always been very interesting to me. I was never too big into it, and by that I mean I never really got into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you know, a lot of the games are really fun ventures into the world, and like this game is cool, and the sequel is gonna have co-op, so that's awesome.
That's right. The other game
Yeah,
didn't have co-op, which was weird. Like you would expect a game
yeah,
like that. Like,
oh yeah,
so I when I first saw the 40K for the first time, I thought it was co-op because it
hmm
like we said, it was very reminiscent to
oh yeah,
Gears, and Gears was just like it was a co-op
hmm
game. But I remember finding out that it wasn't, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay, that kind of sucks." Because I know a game like this, me and my cousin would just sit down and play. Like we love playing games like that. But
oh yeah,
that's cool that
definitely.
this one's gonna be a co-op one.
Yeah, definitely. Because yeah, you have like your teammates or whatever, your squad, and
Mm-hmm.
they aren't playable. They're just kind of like AI companions. Kind of like in some of the Halo games, or even in Gears of War, for example, where they're
Yeah.
just like, "Hey, I'm gonna say some banter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that enemy over there! Look out, grenade! Whoa!"
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that sort of thing. But anyhow, I think a game that we're all interested in, especially Cliff,
I,
is a
I
little
I
game.
I know where you're going with this. I know where
You
you're
are you
going with
sure?
this.
Are
I
you
was gonna
sure?
ask you too.
Were you planning on this one? Were you saving this?
Yeah,
All right.
so
So
so Adam,
yeah.
are you excited for a little game called Power World?
Oh my
Yes.
god, yeah.
I was
You're
thinking
asking Adam that?
I'm so glad that we're both on the same page here, because I was literally just gonna segue to that, and that's why I brought you up. So yeah, Pal World. Pal World,
Pal World.
it looks
It's
cool.
It
very
looks goofy as
interesting.
fuck and I
Yeah.
love it.
Like
It's
I'm glad we finally got to
It's
see gameplay.
Pokemon if you like
It's
guns.
yeah,
Pokemon with
it's
Like
guns.
uh,
it,
it,
go
I
ahead,
don't know
Adam.
how to.
Hmm.
I like I'm at a loss for words too, Katetsu. Like I don't I don't know how I don't know how I feel about it. Like I want like I really really want to play it, but I'm also like, why does this exist?
Because
Like
it's like if it would be the
yeah,
Pokemon game we would want, but
yes,
like
yes,
you
it has
added
a
guns
lot.
to it, so it's just
Yeah,
kind of like I'm not like I feel like because you would think that monster battling, right? You
yeah,
really don't have any like the user like the trainer. All you can do is train your monster to be able to take on other monsters, and that's it. I
yeah,
guess the closest to something like that would be Yokai Watch 4, where you have your the watch holders had some ways to help, but it didn't feel
yeah,
too like overpowering. Like it felt appropriate to one of the stuff they had. This is like guns is like one KO, like so it's just kind of like it's like a one shot KO thing, and
yeah,
using a gun, being in like in a fantasy world like this, and then having something like a freaking AK-47 against a Pikachu is just kind of like
oh yeah,
I think it's pretty comical.
no,
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
funny. It's very
yeah.
funny.
I
Yeah.
think they're completely going like ham with the self. What's the word I'm looking for? It's they're self-aware. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I think the audience for this game is like is people like the people who are gonna buy this game are people who are gonna buy it for shits and giggles, and they know it.
Yeah,
Yes.
They
yeah,
know it too.
exactly.
Like I'm interested in, besides the whole fact that there are guns in this game. I'm very interested to know the general gameplay loop of
Yeah.
collecting these creatures. If there's sort of more of a reason to do so, if there's an overarching plot or a goal.
That makes
Uh,
sense.
and
That
it'd
makes
be cool
sense.
if there was like co-op. I'm not sure if that's been confirmed, but I would love to just kind of run around this big open area with my uh with my M1 Garand and my bootleg Flygon, just kind of like, hey everybody, let's hang out and climb this mountain and try to get not Pikachu, or like
Yeah, and if we run into someone, we're just gonna, pull out our freaking MRs and just blast
yeah, yeah,
everybody.
yeah, exactly. It's like and then yeah,
Yeah,
like
like it's no, I understand where you're coming from. I feel the
yeah, no,
same way. I feel the
yeah,
same way.
it's really interesting. The biggest takeaway for me is how like a lot of the monster designs are you can tell that they're very Pokemon-esque, like,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh yeah.
this is coming from me, who's I've played a lot of Pokemon fan games, and like I've designed Fakemon for some fan games, and I get the general gist of like Pokemon aesthetics for the most part. Uh, and like I've seen some other kinds of games that are quote unquote Pokemon clones, all that kind of stuff, and it's really interesting to me. Some of the monsters in Pal World just straight up look like not
Actual
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like bootleg Pokemon. Like it's really funny. Like there's this one that you see like later in the trailer that they're flying on, and it's like it looks like a weird cross between like a Salamence and
Mm-hmm.
a Flygon, and like it looks like a Gen 3 Pokemon, but like everything just combined into it. Like
Yeah.
it looks like an AI generated Gen 3 Pokemon to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just all those concepts of a design philosophy just kind of culminating into one dragon. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I was
Neat.
gonna say, Adam, like even like the one
Yeah.
that's on like the thumbnail,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's holding the fucking minigun. Like it
Oh
just
yeah,
straight
yeah.
up looks like a Pokemon that's in game.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
You
Yeah,
know what's
yeah.
oh, go ahead, Adam, sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it certainly seems like a weird game. And I'm excited to see more on it.
You,
Weirdly enough. Like but yeah, you go,
you
Katetsu.
know what's so funny? Like we've had all these Pokemon inspired games, and I think the one game that always stuck out to me was Temtem because
Oh yeah.
of the co-op aspect of it. Like it was
Hmm.
actual co-op. You can experience
Oh yeah.
me and my cousin have it, and we played through the entire. We haven't finished it. We played through like a majority of the story together. Like we would do
Hmm.
battles together. We would catch these Temtem together. We do the boss. I don't think we can do the last gym things together, but we can do like the majority of the game we can do together. Like I remember we were looking for one of the rare Temtems you can get, and we both went to go capture one, and it was really cool. And then you have
Yeah.
this game, Pal World, where you can outfit your monsters, whatever they're gonna call pal. I'm gonna say they're called pals, right? Because it's Pal World, so we might call pals, or maybe I'm just,
Yeah.
but whatever. You can outfit them, or you can like ride specific ones. But then like if you look at Pokemon, like they're taking so long to really do stuff like that. Like it was, Arceus was cool because you can do stuff like that, and then they kind of, but Arceus was more like a translation from Scarlet and Violet, I guess you can say. But I feel like Power War is gonna be one of those games where it's just like we're gonna get everything we wanted, like quality of life stuff we wanted in Pokemon, and we're gonna get it in here. Like
Yeah.
if there's flying Pokemon, doesn't matter which one, or flying monsters, no matter which one, we can use them to get from point A to point B. There's
Yeah.
Pokemon we can ride to do whatever. We're gonna get them from point A to point B. So So yeah, so I honestly feel like that's what's Power Wars probably gonna be like when we get it.
Yeah, definitely. Like just
I was gonna
right
say,
now.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but 2023 really feels like the year for farming games. That leads me to a great segue. Fae Farm. I am so excited about this game. This game was announced during Nintendo had a holiday Nindy showcase,
Mm-hmm.
and on the very last day, like they were kind of doing a 3-day showcase where like every day they would announce new indie games, and on the
Mm-hmm.
last day they announced Fae Farm, and I immediately felt like I just had like a connection
Yeah.
with it. So it's a mix between different types of games. It's like, well, obviously it's a farming game,
Hmm.
but you also have like RPG elements to it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
also multiplayer. You can have
Yeah.
up to 3 of your buds play with you, and not a lot of farming games really do that type of stuff. So that kind of already got me on the hook. When it was announced in December, I was wondering if it was coming to Steam, because normally a lot of indie games, they'll come to Switch, and they'll also come to PC, because Steam is pretty much the indie platform. Um, and in December I didn't see that, and I was like, that's odd, because normally you would expect that it would also come to Steam. And so when they announced that it was coming to PC at Summer Game Fest, I was like, yes. And I was probably the only one in the audience going, yes, Fair Farm, let's go.
Oh gosh.
Um, so yeah, I'm actually really hyped. It looks very promising.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on it, just from like
I don't
the trailer.
I don't remember seeing it. I'm actually looking through the list right now to remember if I see it. Remember vaguely of what it was or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually look forward to it. I too love like farming games and just simulation games and stuff. Like, and I think Fae Farm will be pretty cool. It seems like it's trying to do a lot of fun stuff, and I commend it for that, honestly.
Mm. What was there anything else, Adam, that you were looking forward to just from all the stuff that we've seen this week? Was there anything
Oh,
else you were
just
looking?
straight up.
I mean, if you, I
Ooh,
mean, yeah. If there's anything else you've
yeah.
been looking you from, it
Oh
doesn't matter which one, but
man.
anyone you've looking forward to, like your top or whatever you look forward to. Anything
Oh
else that
man.
you have?
So yeah. I had a lot of fun seeing the new gameplay stuff for like Lies of P.
Oh yes,
Mm-hmm.
Lies
That
of
game's really
P.
cool.
Yes.
That game's really cool. I finally played the demo. It's really fun. Like I'm a big fan of like Souls-like games in a general sense, and I'm always looking to see what people can do with the formula. And I think uh Lies of P looks like a game that's it it understands a lot of fundamentals of the genre,
Mm-hmm.
like very good tells to like enemy attacks, and there's a lot of just really solid things overall in that regard. It's um just a really nice game for that
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. Uh and the animations are really pretty too. Like it's a really pretty looking game.
Yeah, I think we
Uh
talked about that too. Talked about that off.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. But if we're just going through like everything that we've seen recently,
Mm-hmm.
uh I don't know if we want to segue all the way to Nintendo or not, or
You,
if we want
you,
to save that.
we can do okay. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll go through each event. So we kind of
Yeah, that's what I
talked
was
about.
thinking.
Yeah, we'll go through
Yeah,
each
that's
event.
what I was
So I don't know if Punisher, did you kind of have anything you wanted to that you saw at the Summer Games Fest event that you wanted to
Uh,
talk about?
I mean,
uh
besides Power,
Ooh.
uh
because I live for like the comical games
Mm-hmm.
like
oh yeah.
this.
Uh
Uh, there's really nothing.
Okay.
That really
One
piqued
thing
my
I
interest.
one
I
thing I
mean,
do know, there's that Star Trek game.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
coming.
Star Trek game looked.
I'm interested to see what that's gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds like it'd be like a strategy game. Actually,
probably, yeah. I think. I don't know.
it'd be fun to play for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe even get into.
I was
Besides
gonna
that,
mention.
nothing really got my attention.
Right. All right. So we'll move on to the next one.
I
I
was,
think. Oh, go
I was
ahead,
gonna
Cliff.
mention two more. One Alan Wake 2.
Okay,
Uh,
that's right.
I
That's
I've
right.
I've never played Alan Wake, but when I saw the gameplay, it looks a lot like Resident Evil.
No, that game is nothing. Not in a bad way, but it's not. I mean, the camera angle, yes, but like, go
Yeah,
ahead, go
it's
ahead, go ahead. I'll let you
Well,
finish.
well, like
I'll let you
at,
finish.
at least from what I saw from 2, it gave
Yeah.
me a Resident Evil horror type vibe.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure,
I don't
for sure.
I don't know how different 2 is from the first game,
hmm
but
So,
besides that,
mhm.
Party Animals looks really interesting.
See,
It's like a
Oh
little
you
yeah,
know
oh
what's so
yeah, party
funny?
animals.
I think what was it? Was it 2020 or 2021 where we all watched E3 and we saw Party Animals and we were like, yo, that's something we should all do. I could have
It was
swore that
it,
game
no,
came out.
I think it was Game Awards.
Was it? It was something we all watched and we saw it and we are just like, yeah, we all got to get this and we all got to play
Yeah,
it. I
I think
still
it
feel that way.
was Game Awards.
I
I think it
still
was
feel
Game Awards.
I still feel that way because that looks just like a fun,
Uh,
extremely fun time. That
like I
game,
saw that and I was like, "Yep, that's an us game."
yeah,
yeah.
100%, 100%. All right. If we're done with the summer game fest, we can move on to the next one. What was I think the next one
Oh,
was?
oh, you had mentioned something about
Oh, I was gonna say about
Alan
Alan
Wake
Wake.
and
That's right. That's right. So the first game, well, came out I think like 2010 ish,
Yeah,
around
somewhere
there,
around there.
around there. Um, that game is a lot scarier than Resident Evil, like 100%, because um you face these enemies that are pretty much like dark, just pure darkness, and you can't harm them unless you shine a light on them. And you have a flashlight that has battery life, and every time you use it, it sucks a lot of your battery. So it's just like if you're in a situation where you don't have, and you have to look for the batteries. You have to either shake the flashlight out to get whatever's left, or go look for batteries. And so if you're in a situation that there's no light, all you have is running. That's all you can do is run. You can try to fight them, but you can't kill them unless you hit them with light. So that's like the kind of the appeal, besides like the story and the feel of it. It's like, like you can like you can fight them, but you can't kill them unless you hit them with light and stun them. And if you hit them with light, they get stunned and you can kill them.
interesting.
Yeah, so there's like there's a formula to it. So that's why I'm like, it's nothing like Resident Evil. Like Resident Evil, you can waste bullets and kill them, and here you can waste bullets and not do anything. And yeah, and most of the game takes place like at night. Like most of Alan Wake takes place at night.
Yeah.
But the second one, like they have a remake, right? They have a remake that recently came out.
Yeah.
So I mean, I do want to go back and revisit because that's the one game I never beat because it was too scary. But I haven't really seen the gameplay for Alan Wake 2. Like I've seen the trailers and stuff. I never really kind of like dissect the gameplay for Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, I wasn't really like it wasn't really doing much for me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like one issue I have with a lot of these big showcases is that we tend to see a lot of games that are trying to, be realistic and somewhat samey in a lot of ways. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there's either an over the shoulder or first person view, and things are very, okay, yeah, check out this beautiful ray tracing, check out this, check out that.
Yeah.
Every game seems like it's trying to push boundaries, and not every game has to, really. Like,
Mm.
a lot of games can just kind of stand out on their own, be stylized, be just weird and wacky, and that's what gets people's attention.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about Pal World a bunch. That's awesome, right? Right? Like it's weird.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
like, I don't know. It just wasn't really doing it for me. It just like, and I love like the Resident Evil games and like Silent Hill and stuff like that. Like, I like spooky games, but it just kind of, I don't know.
That
Element
one
two.
wasn't.
I'll 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 wait until we see more on it.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. I agree. That's kind of how I feel too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So what was next? It was the Xbox showcase, right? That came out
Mhm.
afterwards, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one was, I think, for everyone, the only thing where everyone was looking forward to was Starfield. Like there was a lot of other games on it that were cool, you know.
Yeah.
At least for me, I think two games that I was like was really looking forward to, that I saw and I was like, all right, cool, yeah, was First Descendants. First Descendants is a game that I, when they first announced it like way back like 2 years ago, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm invested because the game looks awesome.
It does look pretty cool.
Uh, okay, Persona 3 for sure. Like that one looks
Oh yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah.
I downloaded Persona 3P or
Mhm.
P3P on my Ally, so I'm gonna go back and play that
Yeah.
before this one comes out. And then what was their like other their Atlas? What was their other one that they dropped?
It was
P5G.
No, not that one. No, not that one. There was another one.
The
I
brand new
forgot.
game.
Yeah, I forgot
yes,
the name of that was called.
the game I made a video on. The the segue. Anyway. Yeah. Metaphor.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
forgot the subtitle
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, Metaphor. That's the one I'm actually
Re-
looking
refan-
for.
Metaphor Refantagio. I
Yeah,
believe.
that looks
Yes.
pretty cool because
Yes.
I'm down for, I love Persona, but I'm down for games that Atlas does that's not Persona. Like,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I love Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna start playing through Soul Hackers 2 soon. That looks
Mhm.
really cool. And then
I'm
this
gonna play
one.
through it.
And then this
Yeah,
one looks
definitely.
good. And then of course,
Like,
oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, Atlas RPGs are awesome. And I think the more like different games we see that aren't just Persona,
Mhm.
that we get a lot of love put into, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it gives people more of a chance to just try new things and have a lot of fun. Like the new game Metaphor looks really cool. It's being worked on by former members of the Persona studio.
Mhm.
So we'll probably have a lot of like vibes and stuff from the earlier eras of Persona, like 3 and
Yeah.
4, stuff like that. It's gonna be like I'm really excited. So
And then the next one is, of course, is Starfield. Like that's the one I'm like super excited about because No Man's Skies didn't do it for me. So I'm hoping Starfield is the game that's going to do that. A lot of people are upset about that it's gonna be locked at 30 FPS, but if it's at like a good 30 FPS, then it's fine.
Yeah, like just if it's like at a consistent frame rate,
Yeah,
like it's fine.
yeah, like if it's a good, like solid, not
Yeah.
dropping below 30 FPS, that's fine. Like
if it's not stuttering, then it's fine.
yeah,
I think for a console game, 30 is fine.
yeah,
Like, cause I feel like I never really noticed much of frame rates until I got into PC stuff.
mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm being completely honest, like, I mean, when you have like a high refresh rate monitor and stuff, you really start
Yeah,
to notice these.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
But if you're just sitting back on a TV and it's like, all right, let me get my controller out, let's do this, let's chill, let's
Yeah, and
play some Starfield, and it's like you won't really notice it unless it's dipping all the time.
yeah, yeah, because you'll have those moments where it'll be like a solid 30, and then when there's too much happening, it'll dip, and you can see it. You're like, okay, I don't like this because you guys aren't being consistent. But then at the same time, it's like if you guys have TVs that has motion plus or picture clarity, and you can just change that to like a soap opera look, you're gonna get your 60 FPS regardless if the game is running at 30 FPS.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like it like smooths out the frames, right? That's
y-
technically how it
yeah,
works.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it
So,
blends them.
so like my TV, well, I hate this TV, but it has it. Um, it can do that. But like I played what Gotham Knights for the console, and it
Oh
was
yeah.
locked in at a 30. It sucked, but then after a while, I just forgot. Like I
Yeah.
forgot about it. Like it did suck, but because you were like a PC gameplay, PC gamers have it at 60, but we don't have it. So I'm like that sucks. But
Yeah.
once you start playing and you're just like with anything, once you start playing, you kind of forget about a lot of that stuff, unless like you said, unless there's a lot of like like a lot of frame drops. But there
Oh
wasn't,
yeah.
and I'm sure they're not gonna. And I'm sure they tried to do it at 60, but they just for what they were trying to do, they probably realized that okay, if we do it at 60, there's gonna be moments where it's going to drop. So why not just leave it at 30, be able to do what we want? Like I'm pretty sure like if they did it at 30, they'd be able to do a lot more developmental, with the development.
Yeah,
So
I completely get it.
so if that's the case, if you can do more at 30 FPS and you're still going to give me an amazing gaming
Oh, and
experience, then that's fine with me. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but those are mine at the
Mm.
Xbox showcase. Those are mine that I look forward
Yeah.
to.
Definitely. Like same here to be honest. Like the Persona games look great. I love Persona 3, like with all of my heart. It is one of the first games that like really got me back into RPGs, and
Mm,
it's a game that helped me get through like a bad time in my life, and like it
mm,
helped me get through school. Weirdly enough, it's a really important game to me, and I think
mm,
seeing a full-on remake with um like just modern gameplay ideologies is a is a good thing. Like
mm,
it's a shame that it's not apparently going to have all the content from the enhanced versions of the game, because I and a lot of other people would love to see like a complete version of Persona 3 with just all the content in it from FES and portable and just all that culminated into one big package.
Did
But
they ever
maybe
did they ever
we'll
say
see this game soon.
why they're not doing that?
Uh, they mentioned something like, "Oh, we want it to be the pure Persona 3 experience." I think that's something that they said. But
Okay.
my guess is, we maybe might see something in the form of DLC. Maybe
Right.
I don't know. It's
Right.
We live in that age. I'm sure we'll see something like that.
Right. It was
Who knows? But
probably a move where there's like if we just give them the full complete thing, we can't
yeah,
Can't
we
bank on this.
yeah, exactly. I
yeah,
mean, they could. They
yeah.
I
could,
mean, they will.
but I think it's just like too much
Like,
I think yeah, I think I think they could have. If they would have gave everyone the full experience, they could have added on top of that. Like they could have done it. But
yeah,
like you said, we don't know why. Like I
Yeah, definitely.
I feel the pure experience is giving us everything all at once. Like
yeah,
a complete version of something is the pure experience. Like the complete
Yeah,
version of any game that had DLC with it is your pure 100% experience because you're getting everything, right? Like
yeah,
all the side
definitely.
stories all at once. So you get
Mhm.
that whatever. But yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, no worries. But yeah, I think the game looks cool, and I think seeing more people experience it in a new way, and even if they've never played it before, I think that'd be really cool. And the fact that they're hiring like new voice actors as well, and it's all just it, they're treating it as if it was a new game, and that's really awesome.
Mm,
Like, uh, you love to see stuff like that. It's really cool, and yeah. But besides that, uh, Persona 5 Tactics or Tactica also looks really cool. I'm interested to see how they handle it. We've seen more trailers throughout the week, but
mm.
it seems pretty cool. I like the art style. I don't really have much else to say on it yet, though. uh, and obviously, Metaphor Refantagio. I already mentioned that prior to that. It looks like a really cool new Atlas RPG with a lot of heart behind it. and I remember hearing about it a long time ago, back when it was called Project ReFantasy, and
Okay.
it was the new studio, Studio Zero or whatever, was just working on like, oh, this is their first new game. It's former members of Atlas P Studio that does Persona stuff, and it's like, oh, we're making a fantasy game, and everyone was like, fantasy Persona, whoa, and
Mm-hmm.
but I guess this is what it is now, and it looks really cool. um, but yeah, besides that, yeah, Xbox had some cool stuff. Definitely. They're always pushing Game Pass, which is a good thing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, people love Game Pass, and that's a good thing to just kind of, yeah, just play games, have fun, do whatever. Uh, the new Forza Motorsport looks nice. I'm always a big fan of just seeing new general just racing games come out, and if they feel good, that's good. Not much to say on that though. Uh, besides that, yes, Starfield, the big one. I want to like Starfield. I really do. I just hope Bethesda can really um just really like nail it this time, because
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda is very hit or miss nowadays with a lot of their first party releases.
You don't
Okay.
say.
Like, I mean,
Okay.
we know how Fallout 76 went, right?
Yes.
It it was a bit of a disaster, and it's always been one. But I do believe that they have the skills, they have the talent to make something amazing, just something that knocks people's socks off, and I know that they want to, and Starfield could be it.
Mm-hmm.
Starfield really could. It could be the new Fallout game that everybody wants, just under a different name, and maybe that's all the series, or maybe that's all the company needed. You know, like maybe the pressure of having a big series name like Fallout and Elder Scrolls is a lot to take in. Like, okay, how are we gonna beat out the sales of Skyrim? How are we gonna beat out the beauty of Oblivion? How are we gonna like make people not want to go back and play Fallout New Vegas and instead play our new game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just they have a lot on their shoulders. So I guess a new like franchise is probably, the best thing for them. So I guess more power to you guys at Bethesda, and let's certainly hope that Starfield is awesome, because that Xbox controller really is.
Oh yeah.
If that Xbox controller is anything to go by, I think your game's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah. Plus the game's been like 10 years in the making, so
Oh yeah,
you know,
it better be good.
yeah, exactly. Uh
But yeah, that's enough out of me. Any closing thoughts on the Xbox stuff for you guys? Anybody else?
Yeah, I was
uh,
gonna. Well, I'll let you Puncher go. I know what he's gonna say.
Payday 3.
oh,
Yes,
that's right. That's
Payday
right.
3.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. The first thing I thought
Like,
about was Punisher when I saw that. I'm like, oh yeah, he's
oh yeah, I'm fucking hyped. That trailer looks sick, and I hope the cloakers are actually like. I hope they're an actual threat, because like I can't speak for playing Payday 2 on Death Sentence, because I don't play it on Death Sentence, because I haven't made a build that could last half a second of being
mm,
shot. But yeah, like at least like on the overkill difficulty, the cloakers are just like fucking. Sometimes they get you, but like they're just standing there
yeah.
waiting to attack. And like I saw a cloaker in the trailer that like did like parkour and shit. I'm like, I hope they actually get you by surprise. Because like the cloakers they're scary for 5 seconds, and then like their entire shtick,
Yeah.
and they just become just another thing to gun down in the in all the chaos during a heist. Like
But yeah,
yeah,
yeah, the game definitely looks really cool.
it looks good.
I'm shocked that it's gonna be only like what, $30-$40.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not the price of a full price game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd certainly love to play it with you guys, or or you at the very least, Punisher, because you helped get me into Payday 2, and I really enjoyed it. it's
It's
a
fun.
it's a fun time. It's a really fun time. Um, but yeah, definitely. Let's hope that their new engine isn't made with sticks and stones.
Oh gosh.
Well, I think it's Unreal 4 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, that'll do.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
they said
That's still
fuck
good.
that when lasting 10 years with Diesel.
Yeah, that's still good.
Like, it's a miracle that Payday 2 got as far as it did, honestly, from
Yeah.
what I know. Like, it's a miracle they were able to just coast off with just the PC version because they had to abandon the console versions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited for Sea of Thieves: Legend of Monkey Island.
Oh yeah,
That
I
looks really
forgot about
interesting.
I forgot about them.
I
I
have
tried
not.
to I tried to get into Sea of Thieves, but I just couldn't. Like I think I sat there for like a couple hours playing. I just
Yeah,
couldn't find it for me. I couldn't find it
yeah.
for me.
It's a game I've been wanting to try out. I really want to play it with some friends. I know that like that's just the way it's kind of meant to be played. Like,
Yeah.
oh, get your crew of friends together and be pirates and just sail the seven seas and get beat up by skeletons
Yeah.
all day, every day.
Fun.
And that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I do need to try it. 'Cause I do like Monkey Island and
Yeah,
Sea of
yeah,
Mhm.
Thieves. Just
yeah. I was surprised to see the Monkey Island
it
stuff.
it definitely matches.
Mhm. 100%.
And besides that, I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, I did like the song looks interesting.
The what?
Descent.
Just
Descent is like it's like a mountain climbing game.
Oh,
oh
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
seeing that.
That's right.
That's pretty interesting. And then Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Hmm.
It's like an RPG. It's like a
Mhm.
fantasy RPG.
Oh, I vaguely remember seeing that one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, certainly we got a good variety at the Xbox showcase.
Mhm.
Um a little something for everybody. Again, that's kind of how a lot of these larger showcases go. Um oh man, if we don't mind me wrapping up the Xbox segment,
Mhm. Go ahead.
uh I think I'm gonna address a Capcom shaped elephant in the room.
I already know what you're talking
Um
about.
uh
Well,
I another
I'll let you say it, and then I'll kind of give my 2 cents on that.
yeah.
What
Let
you,
me
I already know
just
what you're saying.
say another game I want to be excited for is Exoprimal.
Mhm.
But I'm not excited for it. Weirdly enough, I I think
Mhm.
I think a live service game that has the price of admission being $60 and has a battle pass
Mhm.
and is online only, it's just not a good look. Like it really isn't. As much as I have mentioned, I think I mentioned this to one of you guys individually, maybe Katetsu,
Mhm.
that the the exosuits and stuff, they look super cool. Like they almost look like warframes. Like
Yeah.
they look super sick. And I'm sure all the abilities are crazy and
Mhm.
just all the silly stuff you can do in RE Engine with oh, they're probably gonna have some silly Monster Hunter style stuff and
Mhm.
just a wacky goodness.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's gonna be robot Ryu and robot Guile in the
That's gonna be
game and
cool.
just
I would.
it
Yeah.
seems nuts. It seems like a game I'd want to play with my friends, but
Mhm.
it just seems like you really got to put a lot into it. I mean, and yes, I'm mostly just saying the price and the fact that it's supposedly online only.
Mhm.
I just think a game like this, if it wants to stay have longevity, it shouldn't cost an arm and a leg to get into, and then you pay for the battle pass, and then
Mhm.
you do this, and then you do this, and you gotta, and if
Yeah,
you're,
it should be free to play if it's gonna have a battle pass.
if it's gonna start that way, maybe yeah. I don't know. I just think they're asking a lot, I think, for people to stay invested in a game like this.
Mhm.
Because if it has a single player where you don't have to be connected to the online,
Mhm.
then sure, I'm all for it. But I don't know. As it stands right now, I'm not really feeling the game,
Yeah.
but I want to. Don't get me wrong, I want to. And Capcom, if for any reason you're listening to me, uh, you guys keep doing you, but uh, get that game on sale sometime. I want to play it. I
So
want to play it.
I felt the same way. Like I couldn't find a reason to really get excited for it.
Yeah.
And I felt the same way. I thought we had to do all this crazy stuff, but they had a open beta, and I said, you know, there's open beta. I think it was like last weekend they had an open beta, or the
I
weekend
forgot
before
about
that.
that.
I did too. Until like someone on Twitter said, hey, we just did the open beta. It was playing with my friends. It was really fun. I'm like, okay. So I told my cousin, I'm like, hey, we were just talking about Exoprime. Well, the beta's out. So we hopped in, and you know they teach you how to all the different exosuits. There's different ones that you can use, and each one is pretty much each one has a role. There's like DPS, there's tank, there's support, right? There's 3 roles. And it's very pivotal. All I'm gonna say is it's very pivotal that everyone has one role. We need at least a tank and a support. They can be 2 I think it's a team of 4. So 2 DPSs is fine. It has to have at least one of each. Has to. Like it's pivotal. You have to. So how the game so pretty much the story, I'll kind of give the backstory of when I played the demo. So pretty much what happens is you and your crew, whatever, they're gonna hunt this. They're gonna go hunt this thing on this island, and they get dragged into this. The story's kind of stupid, but it's like you get dragged into this game from this AI from the past, and you're like, hey, I'm looking for the best exo fighters or whatever, and every whatever hours you're gonna get pulled into to this year, and you're going to participate in my games. And my games is you have to survive my onslaught of dinosaurs. And you're not just playing, it's not just you, you're in a team of 4 competing against another team of 4. So it's objective based team competition. So you have two teams of 4. Those teams have to complete those objectives before it has to be the first. Whichever team completes the objectives first wins, and then there's like 5 of them. So so that's like the story. Like you've been brought on this island, you cannot leave because you have to compete in these games. If you die, you're done. If you live through them, you get to live the next day to compete the next day. Like that's pretty much like the caveat of whatever the story. But the gameplay is actually pretty intense. It's pretty intense. So it's like 5 levels, and your goal, like I said, your goal is to finish each objective before the other team does. And so there's an AI that says, hey, you're doing your objectives a lot faster than the other team, or you're going a lot slower than the other team. So it's really about synergy. Like you have to have a really good team dynamic to be able to get through those objectives. And some of them get freaking intense. Like there was one where we had to fight a freaking triceratops, and that thing would freaking do damage on you unless you had a tank that could like that one of the tanks have a shield that you can like block that attack, so everyone else can, your DPS can go in, or your heavy whatever can go in and do damage on it. Sometimes there'll be like an onslaught of raptors. They'll just drop, like it'll say, sometimes you say, hey, we're dropping raptors, hey, we're dropping this dinosaur, hey, we're dropping this, and you're just like, what the hell is this? Like you have a dinosaur that can snipe poison, what the hell? Oh, you have a dinosaur that can just be like a freaking kamikaze and just like, what the hell's going on? So it's just like so much going on, and it's all random. Like you don't know what you're getting. Like you'll play at the same levels, but the structure is different. So so on the beta you got like think like 3 maps, and each of them were different. And when you get to the last phase of it is you're literally going head to head with other team. So you either get a, hey, you need to transport this this thing here before the other team does, and sometimes there'll be a time where when you guys are going to be at the same spot and you can like divert the other team. There's an ability in the game that you can actually, I forgot what it's called, but you can actually control one of the dinosaurs and literally take them into the other team and just divert that team from completing that objective. And like I said, there's times where you guys will like, you'll have an objective that's in the same spot, and both teams can literally get into a elimination thing. Like you can kill the other teammates if you get to that point. And there's one thing that we did, it was insane. So we were playing through, we got through the first phase, and all of a sudden it teleported everyone into this one spot. Everybody, all teams into this one spot. And we all had to work together to kill a Triceratops. I mean, a Neo Tyrannosaurus Rex. So we all had to work together. So there's just like, it's a team-based objective game, but the game gets pretty intense. Like me and my cousins, we sat on that demo for that beta for like hours just because we were like, dude, this is freaking intense. Like, and then and it's I don't think there's no like having to build a certain build or whatever. Everything's already pre-built. It's just like the only thing you have to choose is like your secondary weapons. Either you get like a shoulder cannon or a net launcher or like a extra boost or whatever. But after playing the beta, I said, okay, maybe I'll give this game a shot because it was actually pretty intense. I can like that Exo Primal is a game you have to get your hands on to make your decision on it. If you're like sitting on it, like, I don't know, you guys aren't selling it. That's a game you need to get your hands on and be able to play. And the beta gave people that opportunity to do that. So I was in the same boat you were, but my tone changed a little bit after I played the beta. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty intense. This is an intense game.
Yeah, like I said, it's a game I really want to like,
Mm-hmm.
and I want, I really want to give it a shot, and I will eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Once they do another beta.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was basically
Mm-hmm.
our experience with the Xbox Game Showcase. Unless you guys have anything else to say about them.
I'm ready to jump into the next one. I'm not gonna do the Ubisoft yet because I want to talk about another showcase that didn't need to even happen.
Yes, sounds good.
And it was the Capcom one. I feel like the Capcom one didn't need to happen because they showed all their games on the other showcases. So it's kind of like, why did you guys do that? It's like I feel like they wasted, like, you know what I mean? Like all their games they showed off were already shown at the other showcases. So it kind of felt like a waste of, your money, and time to put a spot together like that when all your games were already showed off already. So that's what I kind of felt like they didn't have anything new. Everything we saw were like we saw yesterday. You know what I mean? Like at the Xbox showcase. Like, what's that game called? And I think Adam, you'll think you know what I'm talking about. There's a game that I thought that when I first saw it, I thought it was another Onimusha game because how very colorful it looked.
Oh my gosh!
And how demon like it looked. I forgot the name of it.
It's like I forgot the name too. It's like something Kami. It's I like originally I like it seems like they're doing like what if we did like a Japanese inspired game again but kind of like what they did with Okami back in the day, but this having a new franchise is probably like a good idea. I forgot the name of it.
I did too.
Yeah, let me
I did too. But that one was probably out of the whole their showcase there was cool. It was very, like I said, they didn't show any, and even if the stuff they showed off at the other, at least with Ubisoft, which we're gonna jump into in a second, when they showed Prince of Persia at the Summer Game Fest, they gave us more at their event. They gave us more of it. You know what I mean? Like we got more gameplay. We got the trailer and more gameplay. When Capcom, they didn't even give us any more of anything they showed off at their so it was kind of disappointing that they did that. I that's kind of what they did last year. They did the same thing last year.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird. And it's especially weird that the Capcom stuff happens afterwards, and they also showed their stuff at the other events.
Yeah, like I don't get why they did that, but anyway.
Uh, yeah, if you don't mind me going into a few highlights for Capcom real quick
Oh yeah,
before I
go ahead.
jump into Ubisoft.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, just gonna kind of rapid fire that.
Mm.
Okay, so the game that we were talking about is called Kunitsugami Path of
Okay.
the Goddess.
Yes.
Yes, and that game looks really neat. It's supposedly like an action. It's like a blend of action and strategy, and it looks neat. I'm interested to see more on it. Obviously they showed more on Exoprimal. Yeah, we already talked a bunch
Yeah.
about that. They showed the new Ace Attorney trilogy. The 3DS games are finally coming, which is super
That's
cool
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
because a lot of people were excited to potentially see those because they're like the few games that we never got re-releases of.
Hmm.
Really cool to see now. Um, Dragon's Dogma 2 got gameplay recently,
That's right.
which I think it's awesome. I really like Dragon's Dogma. One thing I was kind of hoping for 2 was like a co-op mode where you could just kind of play with like a friend or something, like instead of your pawn.
I,
But
I
it seems like it's still gonna keep just a single player
I feel
aspect.
like that's a game that it's built to have a
Yeah,
multiplayer in there
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. I feel like just like a two-player co-op, like that's always been like what I've thought this game kind of needed.
Hmm.
Like almost like what you can do in like Dark Souls, where it's like, oh yeah, summon your friend to your world and let's just kind of run
Yeah,
around and fight things.
exactly.
But yeah, really weird. They did show a little bit more on that game Pragmata, but it appears that they're
That's
going to be
right.
delaying it
That's
again.
right. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
it's probably a good thing that it's being delayed again because they announced Pragmata as like this exciting, mysterious space adventure sort of thing potentially. And we're seeing a lot of like space games come out too, and like Starfield, and I'm sure that they both want Pragmata to be the best it can be, while also not really falling under the wayside of other games. They
Yeah.
probably want it to be great, and I want it to be great too. It looks like when I first saw the initial trailer of Pragmata with like the space guy and like the little girl with the glowing eyes, like
Hmm.
it looked weird. It looked like a Kojima thing almost.
Yeah, that's what I
And I
thought it
was
was
like,
too when I first saw it.
this looks sick. I'm interested to see what this turns into. And but yeah, they showed Ghost Trick, the DS remake.
Hmm.
It has a demo now. And one thing that confused me but also got me kind of excited is Mega Man X Dive offline.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because their
um,
their online services but is gonna die, and I was just like, that kind of
yeah,
sucks. It was pretty fun.
yeah. I'm glad that this free to play mobile game is getting an offline version because I don't like seeing games just go away.
Same,
And
same.
like like we see it a lot with like MMOs and people got to pick up the pieces with like private servers and stuff,
Yeah,
and it's a shame. It's really difficult to kind of grab these sorts of things. But seeing them acknowledge it and just make an offline version, that's super cool.
hmm,
But yeah, that's all I gotta say on the matter of the Capcom showcase, and that's pretty much all there was for the most part.
yeah,
Uh, and everything else was just reiterating what we've already seen.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm moving it over to you, Katetsu.
All right, so we'll jump into the Ubisoft, and then we'll go into Nintendo, and then we'll end it from there. So for me, I didn't really catch the Ubisoft one because I think I was doing something at the time, and I just couldn't
Yeah,
catch all of it.
yeah, I
But
actually didn't either.
I think really the only thing that I was really interested in, there was one thing that I didn't like that they did because it faked me out a little bit because there was rumors about seeing this earlier, and I'll go into
Yeah,
that later. You know, so first I'll talk. First thing I saw, I was like, okay, it was. I just watched the gameplay trailer for it was Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I didn't know that was a. I didn't know it was a first player. I didn't know that was a FPS. I didn't know it was a first player game. I thought it was like third person. For some reason, it looked like it'd be a third game in third person, but it's not.
Yeah,
It's in first person, and I don't know. Like it's. I understand the selling point of making an Avatar game,
mhm.
but I just it's not doing it for me because I don't know. I mean, the first Avatar was great, but like the second Avatar, I didn't have a reason to go see it. I still
Oh
don't.
yeah,
Um, so that's why I was like, okay, if it, I would like to see a little bit. Well, I mean, they have gameplay for it, but I don't know. That one's not doing. It looks cool, but it's not anything that I would like jump at to go, pick up or whatever.
yeah,
Of
definitely.
course, they showed, Prince of Persia. They showed that.
Mhm.
There were some other ones. I'm kind of just looking at the ones that I'm like was cool about. I was happy to see, or that I was interested in seeing. Assassin's Creed. We're getting 3 games. We're getting a Nexus VR, which I
Yep.
had no idea about.
That looks
Um,
interesting.
I haven't seen that. Jade, which is kind of weird because it's like I thought we got something like Jade from like the like the codename games. What was it? It was like codename China, and now we're getting a codename Jade. That
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong. It looks a little bit like.
yeah. I think the Jade one plans on being like free to play,
Okay, yeah. I
and
mean,
like yeah, yeah. The other ones like the China,
yeah,
Russia. I
yeah.
think those ones were all like
They're like
spin-off
standalone.
types,
Yeah,
spin-off side scrollers.
yeah.
And yeah, this one's probably just gonna be like I think it's like a free to play mobile thing.
I haven't even seen that, but okay. Um, and then Mirage, which is interesting because I think Mirage isn't that just continuing from a characters from Valhalla, because there's a character in Valhalla that looks like the character from Mirage, and he doesn't have his fingers because it's funny because they have a thing where like they have to like cut their fingers, so then the hidden blade doesn't do it. Because they say the hidden blade gets your fingers get with a hidden blade, you get your fingers cut off. And then
Yeah,
I think your other character in Valhalla was like, well, why would you guys do it that way? Why don't you just put it the other way? So he flips it the other way, and I'm just like, psh,
yeah.
that's a
Like
life
if you,
hack.
yeah, it's like if you're gonna lose your fingers anyway, why do it? Why
Yeah.
just do it anyway?
So he like
Come on, like
flips it, but that one looks cool because it kind of reminds me of the setting of the first Assassin's Creed, which I can
yeah,
appreciate a little bit.
yeah. Like a return to form is probably what the series needs. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I get a little tired of modern Assassin's Creed stuff. I feel like I get like I keep forgetting just the newest like 3 games. I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's what? There's Valhalla,
Is
there was
Valhalla, Odyssey,
Odyssey,
and Origins.
Origins. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I get them all like confused, like which one came out when, and
Yeah,
I
I
don't
get
really
it.
follow the games that much.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like a me thing, but I always want to. Like the games look cool. Like I
Mm-hmm.
played like Assassin's Creed 2 back in the day, and I was like, this game's
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah,
Um, but like it's weird.
yeah. I beat all of them up to Black Flag, but then I haven't finished them. Like I bought all of them up to Black Flag. I mean, yeah, I beat all of them up to Black Flag, and after Black Flag, I bought them, but I never finished them. Like I have
Right.
them on my digital library. They're there. I just haven't finished them. But
Yeah.
Mirage is probably gonna be another game that I buy. I'm never gonna finish.
Mhm. Yeah.
I can just say officially I have all the Assassin's Creed games. Like that's literally what it's gonna turn
Yeah. Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
Is
No. Yeah.
it's
I get you.
that's literally what it is for me. It's like I remember saying I'm gonna buy Valhalla, but I've never finished Odyssey. Same thing when I said about Odyssey. I'm gonna get Odyssey, but I never finished Origins. But I never bought the games like first day. I always buy them like well Valhalla came free when I got my my Series S, it came free. So I got that for free.
Yeah.
So technically I didn't buy it. And then for PS5, I don't remember if I bought that. I may have, but it was like cheap. It was on sale, so I ended up getting it.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars Outlaws, like we talked about, they showed a little bit more at the Ubisoft. They showed actual gameplay, which actually looks really nice, which I like it. I like the feel. I like Star Wars games that we're not playing as some form of a Jedi because it feels like
Yeah.
we'll
Me
be
too.
more into the world of Star Wars.
Oh yeah, me
Like
too.
the side where they're being, it's like the viewpoint of them being in influenced by the war between the Republic and the Empire, or the Senate and the or, like
Yeah.
those characters. Like I like that, and I think Outlaws is gonna do that for us finally. Like we get a game like that. And then the game that threw me off a little bit. Like they did what is it? Roller Champions did a collab with Jet Set Radio,
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that's kind of wild.
I'm kind of pissed because they showed Jet Set Radio off first. And I'm just like, oh wait, what? You guys are, because there's rumors that we're getting a Jet Set Radio game. Like we're getting one, and I thought for some reason Ubisoft was doing it, and
Yeah.
I for me, I don't like seeing old franchises like Jet Set Radio being getting into being collab with
Yeah.
another game, because I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'd rather just see a whole new game. But then at the same
Yeah, no,
time,
I completely get it.
but at the same time I understand it, because Roller Champions is has a following, and for them to say, for Sega to come together with Ubisoft and say, hey, can you guys help us put this franchise out there for us to see what the reaction is? And it kind of gives them a reassurance. Like, you're already going to know everyone. Jet Set Radio and Jet Set Radio Future, or I think it was Jet Grind Radio was the first game, and then Jet Set Radio Future was the second. That has a cult following, and there's been games that has adaptations of it. Like I think the biggest I'm sorry. Like the spiritual successor. I think the biggest one that's coming out is I forgot the name of it.
It's like Bomb Rush
Yeah,
Cyberpunk, I think.
yeah. That game's coming out on my birthday. That's probably like the closest to this game that, and I think it's actually was done by, I don't know if it's true or not. I thought it was done by some of the developers who did the old games, or people who were.
I think they got some people to like help out, or maybe they got like Naganuma to do some of the music.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, for sure they got him to do that. 'Cause he has a track like for that. But when I saw that, I was like, man, I'd rather just see a new game. I don't want to see a collab. Like, you guys are teasing me with these collabs. I'd rather see like a new game. But that's it for me. Like, I think the one thing that I'm really excited for is Outlaws, because I just love the fact that I'm not playing as a Jedi anymore. I'm playing as someone else in the world of Star Wars, which is actually really nice.
Oh yeah. Outlaws looks really good. For me, I didn't really pay much attention to the Ubisoft Forward, but I think didn't they announce stuff for like Brawlhalla at the Ubisoft Forward?
Did they?
For, like around
don't
that
know.
time.
I don't know.
Because I know that because I know Ubisoft technically is the publisher now, and I know they're adding like Halo stuff next month.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And one big thing about Brawlhalla that's actually got me back into it again is the fact that we're going to be having cross progression.
That's always nice. That's always nice.
Really good, because I used to play the game on my Switch, and I play the game nowadays on my PC, and currently you're able to basically combine your inventories. So, if you have a character on one version or a costume on one version, you can basically just fuse those things, and it's really nice. But eventually, you'll be able to combine those accounts as full-on cross progression. So they're doing it in like 2 waves. It's a little weird, but it's nice to see nonetheless. And I just thought I'd mention it, even if it wasn't a big Ubisoft thing. I just thought I'd mention how neat that is. But besides that, I don't know. Like the Jet Set Radio stuff for Roller Champions looks neat, but like I haven't played Roller Champions, so I don't really have a feel for it. The new Prince of Persia obviously looks really, really cool. It's just, I don't know. I'm not really feeling the Avatar game. Like, it looks pretty, but I don't know. I do want to see more, just to get more of a takeaway.
Yeah.
And again, Star Wars Outlaws looks awesome, as we keep saying. A Star Wars game without Jedi is always nice because you don't need Jedi to make a good Star Wars story.
Yeah, you don't.
Like, but yeah. Cliff, Punisher, anything from the Ubisoft forward that you guys like got as like a big takeaway? Because
For me,
besides,
it's mainly just Star Wars.
yeah,
Uh,
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Outlaws looks really interesting. I was hyped. It's nice to have another Star Wars game. We just got Jedi Survivor, and now Outlaws is coming out. Got announced. I'm like, okay, bring it on. And
Mm.
like, I think when I saw it was Ubisoft, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because normally it would be like it would be EA doing Star Wars. So
Yeah, that's right.
but so far from what I've seen from the gameplay, it looks really cool.
Mm.
I would say,
The
like,
fact that you can like go anywhere you want, like there's different planets you can go to, is gonna make it feel a little bit different than the Jedi games.
Yeah. Can I just say too that I think Punisher would appreciate this too? That her companion is a freaking assassin, is an assassin droid.
oh yeah,
Like that's really cool because those suckers are scary, and now it's just like
Yeah.
her right hand kind of droid.
that-
I'm like,
that
that's
is
actually pretty
cool.
cool.
the thing that almost killed Mando.
Right. But that's pretty cool. Anything for you, Punisher? Was there anything from the Ubisoft event that you
I mean, unless it's siege related.
did
if
they
I'm being
do?
honest.
I don't think they did. They no. I think they talked about no. I think they talked about Division. I think that's like the only Tom Clancy thing I saw was a Division 2.
Hmm.
And I think they have like a free to play Division coming out for mobile. I think.
Yeah, I believe that one's coming out.
Which, I mean, unless they mention how they're getting rid of the new consulate rework in Siege,
Mm-hmm.
then I really didn't care.
Yeah, I think all they did show off was yeah, it was just a Division Resurgence. I think that's like the free to play that's coming. That's coming soon. Yeah, they think they did a beta test beginning of this month, so that's really it from that sense. But if you guys are done with this one, I think Cliff has been holding his tongue about wanted to talk about the Nintendo Direct.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like so
I think it's-
Nintendo.
I feel like we should just let him go first, and we'll just follow him right after.
Okay. Well, I think I'll go in order of the direct. Well, one of the first things that they showed off to start off the direct was the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, which looks really interesting. Really promising. I need to finish Scarlet and Violet. I always have this
Same.
problem with Pokemon games where like
I
I'll get them
finished
on
it.
launch day.
Mhm.
I'll play a good chunk of it, and then like I just won't complete it.
Mhm.
Could always,
I did
we
it.
could
I
always
did it
play
with Sword and Shield.
That's
did-
that's
I-
interesting.
And so now it's like okay, I really need to do it.
Like
Yeah.
the DLC, I have a little bit of a I don't know. I'll let you go ahead. I have mixed
Um,
feelings about that DLC.
Next, the other thing that I enjoyed, which we for those who are in the loop, we kind of knew this was gonna happen. It was just more of a our fingers to make sure it was true. Basically, there was a prominent leaker who got a lot of stuff right during Summer Game Fest, and he had leaked out that there's one about the direct happening, and two about two new Mario games. Well, not two Mario games, two new games. One being a remake to a popular SNES game, and then the other one was a brand new 2D Mario. So it was no surprise when we got trailer for Super Mario RPG, which oh man, I'm so excited about that, man. like it fooled me for a second because at first I was gonna say, okay, please don't tell me this is just NSO. Please tell me it's not NSO. And then I saw the little star at the corner. I'm like, yes, it's like I'm happy for so many reasons. One, Nintendo actually cares about Mario RPGs. Two, I really hope this sells well because I actually want to see Paper Mario get remade. And also, it's kind of cool seeing that Square and Nintendo are getting along again. You know?
Well, let me ask you this question real quick: is this a game that Square is actually working on, or is this something
Yeah,
that
it's
Nintendo
it's
themselves just
it's it's
decided to
it's
just do
it's
it
it's
themselves?
it's both because Square and Nintendo own equal rights to the game. Square has some characters that
But
are in
but wasn't that
Mario RPG.
SquareSoft, not Square Enix though?
Yeah, it was Square Soft, but I guess when Square and Enix combined, they still have the rights to like Xeno and Mallow.
Okay.
One thing I one thing I did notice was if you do look at the copyrights for the remake, it
Mm-hmm.
does say Nintendo slash Square Enix.
Oh, it does.
Yep.
Okay.
So my guess is, I guess it's all just kind of culminated there. I was afraid that if there was ever a remake to Mario RPG, that would be super duper Nintendoified in the
Yeah,
sense of,
exactly.
oh, we just have Mario's just standard looking model from like, I don't know, Mario Tennis Aces or something, like the
And
sports
then
games.
like
Yeah.
generic codes. But no, they actually like
Yeah,
put the
we have
effort to actually make it feel
we have
like
a,
how you imagine it would,
yeah, it's
like
great.
They
seeing
Like,
this.
they just
If
they got the art style and
yeah,
just
like
Yeah, they
made
and
it
did.
and
Yeah.
just made it more modern.
Yeah, they
I
just
like
put
love
like a
seeing
new
the
coat of
the trailer,
paint over it.
it really felt like that was the way that the game was supposed to be all along. Uh,
Mm.
like that's just how faithful they did
yeah.
this remake.
I just want to say I love with all of my heart I love little tiny throwable looking Mario. Like
Yes,
he's just
like
he's
at the
just a
end,
little
like
man.
when he's like just
Throwable.
like at the end when like Mario just like throws out his hands like he wants a hug.
Yeah, he's just a little man. Like I want a plush of him. Like oh my god.
Yeah, yes. Give us Sleepy Mario plush.
Yeah,
I want
he's
that.
awesome. But yeah, yeah, I'm super happy for it too. It looks wonderful, and Mario RPG is a great like I'd call it an entryway RPG in a lot of ways. Like
Mm.
it's a great game for people to just kind of jump into and have a lot of fun.
Oh man. Now that I got that out of my system, the the next game that we got announced was a game that I was questioning whether or not it still existed. Detective Pikachu
Detective Pikachu.
Oh
Returns.
yeah,
Mm.
Like this came out of left field, but like it's because like I remember seeing it. I was like, wait, we already got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm like, is this like Pokemon Cafe? Like what is this? And then when I heard the city name, I was like, let's go, Detective Pikachu! It actually is a thing because like this game was announced all the way back in 2017,
It-
and like I was questioning, like, is this game ever like did it get canceled? Is it happening
Mm.
still? It was a left field. I was not expecting this during the direct,
eh,
but I'm actually happy because it's a nice little like niche Pokemon spin-off.
I was gonna say like yeah like when I was watching it on the direct on stream I was like didn't this like I swear like it was like announced yeah like in 2017 like a long time ago like I'm pretty sure like it was just like on ever like it just like left everyone's
yeah.
like
It's
memory.
Mm.
certainly been a while. Like I believe that it was probably in some form of development hell for a while.
You
Yeah.
Like
don't say.
and one thing you should notice is that the like the Pokemon cast on like you see in the trailer and in the front cover and stuff, it's like you don't see any like Generation 9 stuff. So it must have been maybe either done for a while,
Mm.
maybe even before Scarlet and Violet, or like, they didn't want it to come out
That makes
coinciding with
sense.
Scarlet and Violet,
That
or
makes sense.
you know, they were just looking for a time to release it, and
Yeah, because we got
which is interesting.
yeah, because we did have Sword and Shield during that time still in their life cycle.
Oh
So
yeah,
so it would have been hard to drop it then and then get the Sword and Shield DLC, and then that would have been overshadowed. And
oh yeah,
then pandemic happened, but that's when we got the Sword and Shield stuff that was holding us off. And then what, Pokemon Snap came out during the pandemic, didn't it? So it
Oh
was
yeah.
it was kind of hard. You're right. Might have been hard to try to find the perfect time. So I think the lull between the Scarlet and Violet stuff and the DLC is probably the perfect time to just drop Detective Pikachu. They can say, "All right, here's Detective Pikachu, guys," and then yeah, the people who do care about it will play it until the DLC for Scarlet and Violet come out.
yeah, definitely.
I was gonna
But
say, I don't know if it's just me, but I also thought, wasn't it supposed to be a remake
Of what?
for of the first game for
That's what I
Switch?
thought. That's what I thought that was. I swear, that's what I thought that was. I thought that was
Because
the
like,
remake of the
because I mean,
first game.
I definitely knew that a sequel was gonna happen, but I felt like there was supposed to be a remake of the first game on 3DS.
But I honestly feel like there's not enough time gone. There's not enough time between the first game on the 3DS and this game to where they needed to make a remake. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's been enough people who've played or has at least seen it or heard of it and all that, or watched videos for it, to where they didn't need to make a second game. And then, like you said, the game was announced in 2017, so like they could have released it during that time, but then pandemic and they had all their other lineups. um they probably, it wasn't even a thought of doing a remake for that game because they thought the sequel would be released in enough time between that.
yeah,
Very true.
but yeah, yeah, Cliff, would you like to continue your excitement in regards to the announcements?
Yes, yes. Let me continue. So the next game that was showcased was it was right after Mario RPG was shown off, was a new Princess Peach game, which that
Oh, I
came
heard
out
about
of
that.
field.
Oh yeah.
Which
Super Princess Peach 2.
yeah, if that's what they end up calling it, Super Princess Peach 2. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what this game's gonna be like.
Mm-hmm.
If it's gonna be like the first one or if it's gonna be totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so far from what they've teased, I can't wait to see more of it. Um, for Adam, I
I
know that you were probably super excited when they showcased this Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince.
Yes, this is my favorite reveal of the direct. I have been hoping for a Dragon Quest Monsters game to come to the West for literally years.
Yeah, we never got
Um,
one.
and the last ones were on the DS. We
Mm-hmm.
never got any of the 3DS games. Um, we never even got like the re-release of the Game Boy game just straight up on Switch. Uh, and it's been like more than a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And Dragon Quest Monsters subseries was like long thought to be dead. And I thought the Dragon Quest Treasures was gonna be, a new Dragon Quest Monsters game, and
They
like
made it
it's
feel
not.
like that.
But
They made it feel like
yeah,
that.
it ended up being its own thing, and that's awesome. And the game is really cool. But like there was still a pit in my soul, and I was hoping we'd see a new Dragon Quest Monsters game or a remake or anything just come to the West, with Dragon Quest being more, accessible than ever, and the West having more of an appeal towards it, like Dragon Quest 11 and Dragon Quest 11S sold like hotcakes. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
everybody loves those games. They're awesome, and just the anime coming back and just all that stuff. And we finally got Dragon Quest Monsters the Dark Prince, otherwise known in Japan as Dragon Quest Monsters 3. Straight
That's
up.
that's what I was gonna ask you. This looks like the third game. I was gonna ask you that because
Yeah,
I played the third
yeah,
game.
yeah. This is just called Dragon Quest Monsters 3.
That's actually really cool.
Like it's yeah, yeah. It even they're even doing the thing that they did in the original games, where it kind of coincides with the mainline games, where you see like the protagonist from Dragon Quest 4 show up,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, whoa, this looks awesome. Like I'm super excited. I hope there's like online connectivity where we can pit our like teams against each other. Like, oh man, like this game, I'm crazy excited, and it's coming out December 1st, I believe,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which
December
is
1st.
Yep.
wild,
December
like
1st.
just worldwide. Like, yeah, that's personally my biggest announcement of the direct, and
Mhm.
I will give you the floor again, Cliff. Thank you for your time. Oh,
Hmm.
manga. Anyway, I look forward to that. Yeah,
Okay.
your turn.
Well, so another thing that showed off, is we got more information about Pikmin 4, which Pikmin 4. I'm actually really excited about this. I love Pikmin. It's a nice cozy RTS game.
Oh,
It's
for
just the type
sure.
of game where you could literally just be, you could be chill on the couch, have some YouTube in the background and play it. And they made a lot of improvements to it. One of the things I like about Pikmin 4 is that there's gonna be night expeditions. So like for those who haven't played Pikmin, in the past games, you basically had like a timer for each day, and like I think it was like 10 or 15 minutes would be each would be a day,
Yeah.
and basically you had to get back to your ship before it turned night, or or you'll suffer the consequence of all your Pikmin dying. But this time you can actually explore at nighttime with the new globe Pikmin, which looks really funny. It's like they're like ghosts.
Yeah,
They're almost like ghost Pikmin,
he's
Mm-hmm.
basically.
adorable. I
Um,
love the that Pikmin.
and also this Ochi, like just like the concept of a Pikmin dog is
Yeah,
is adorable. Um, Also, they announced remasters of Pikmin 1 and 2. Same day launch, which it's becoming a trend this year. Uh, in in the first direct of the year, we got a style drop for Metroid Prime,
That's right.
and now we have Pikmin 1 and 2. So I wonder if there's going to be another GameCube style drop in September.
Mm.
F-Zero GX, please. Sorry, my demons were let out.
Yeah.
I would love. I'm just holding out hope. F-Zero eventually. Maybe not
F-Zero.
tomorrow.
I think there was
Maybe.
rumored that they said we were gonna get something for F-Zero. Like they were
Yeah,
saying they might get F-Zero for this direct, but I was just like,
yeah.
that remains to
Someday.
be seen.
Someday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the same time that they announced the Princess Peach game, they also announced that Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon that it's getting a an
That
HD.
was
Oh
very
yeah.
interesting. That was interesting to me that they decided to do that. Very interesting when they decided to do that. To do
Yeah,
the Luigi's Mansion
I
2.
yeah, it was interesting. I did not see it coming. I saw something like I saw like Kid Icarus probably or something like that. I did not see Dark Moon coming
Yeah.
to Switch in the books.
Yeah, that's interesting that they
But
did that.
maybe they're doing it. Maybe they're doing it to kind of like tease a new game. Maybe because like
But
3 came out like a while
yeah,
ago.
that's weird though. So, but why would you re-release? I would understand re-releasing one and be like, okay, we might have a four coming, but like re-releasing two, I don't know, or I don't know what they're play
Yeah.
like the history of Nintendo. You can't you can't reverse engineer Nintendo's intentions at all because like you said like we got a same day release of Pikmin HD 1 and 2 and Metroid Prime and all these other crazy announcements that unless a leaker didn't, even if a leaker did come out and post it, we can see like we didn't know we were gonna get Super Mario. We didn't know we were gonna get a new 2D. So it's like we don't know what Nintendo has planned or has intentions of anything. We just have to kind of like sit there and take
Like
whatever they're gonna give
roll
us.
with it,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
I mean, all I can say is that this is kind of in line with what they typically do when it's getting close to the end of a system's life. I mean, with 3DS, we saw a
Mm-hmm.
lot of a lot of Wii remakes,
Mm-hmm.
like Wii and GameCube remakes, like the first Luigi's Mansion on 3DS.
Yeah.
So it's just probably just typical Nintendo stuff where they like to go back in their catalog and port stuff to new systems.
Right.
But on top of that, they also showed off DLC for Sparks of Hopes. I need to play it. I literally have it next to me.
I
I
need
just
to
haven't got
finish
the
it.
time to play it.
I need to finish it. That's another game on my
But
list of
it
games to
looks interesting.
finish.
Like you have the mechanical chain jump. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
not chain jump. King Bump Bomb,
Mm-hmm.
which looks interesting. And okay, I have to say that for later. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the Booster Course
Oh yes,
Pass.
the big
I
bathtub
feel like this
stage.
year, like we're like last year with Booster Course Pass, it was kind of like just typical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, like they're going all out. Not only
Mm-hmm.
do we have a bathroom themed track, but we also are getting Petey Piranha from Double Dash. We're getting Wiggler from Mario Kart 7, and for the first time ever in Mario Kart history, Kamek,
Mm-hmm.
Kamek, who was supposed to be in Mario Kart 64, but then got replaced, sadly.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, it's nice seeing all these character slots get filled and just us seeing more stuff come. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Next, this one I might actually get just to try it out. The Metal Gear Solid Collection.
Oh yes,
This looks really beefy. Like
yeah.
for how much it costs. Like you're
How
getting a
much is
lot of
that?
content.
How much is wait, are they giving us all of them up to 3 or are they just giving us 1 and 2?
So it's gonna
So
I
be
wasn't sure.
it's one,
one,
2, 3. Plus you get the original like Metal Gear games that the Microsoft version, and you also get the
Mm-hmm.
NES versions of Metal Gear 1 and
Oh,
2, I
okay.
believe.
That's cool.
And also you
yeah,
get some digital
yeah. You get the graphic
comics,
novels, which
the graphic
graphic novels are so
novels.
cool.
And let me get the price for you. I should have I should have done this.
No, it's all good.
But that's cool though. Like I didn't watch the direct because I was gone. I couldn't watch it. I had to like catch it at the last second, and I didn't really go back and watch all the stuff. But I remember when they announced at the State of Play, one of the State of Plays, they announced Snake Eater, and then after the Snake Eater remaster
Yeah,
or remake,
yeah. I
and
oh man,
then after that they said, hey, we're getting 1, 2, and 3, and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
cool.
They
And
yeah.
I'm hoping the one Metal Gear Solid 1 is the GameCube version because that was the better version of the game. And
No, it doesn't seem that way, sadly.
because I thought the GameCube version looked way better.
Yeah,
Because the
Twin
GameCube
Snakes is
version
really
was a
cool.
better one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Twin
thought
Snakes
that
is
was
really
better.
cool. I never got a chance to play Twin
It
Snakes.
was actually I played it. I went back and played the GameCube version. I mean, of course, the
Yeah,
GameCube version. But I went back and played it, and I was like, dude, this is actually way better than, than
yeah.
the PS1
Yeah,
version of the game.
I really want to play that version sometime because I love Metal Gear. I have like the Legacy Collection on the PS3.
Oh, that's right. Which one was that?
And like, oh man, remember the collection of just 2 and 3 on the Vita? That.
Mhm. I
Like
remember
I have
that.
that one too. Like it's just you can play these games on a lot of consoles, but like nothing truly like a like modern multi-platform.
Yeah.
And so it's really huge to see that Konami kind of cares about their backlog. Like they did this with Castlevania, which is
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing this again with Metal Gear. And like yes, Kojima's not at the company anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that we can't see good things come out of the company. Like
Yeah. Exactly.
here's hoping that the remake of Snake Eater another one of my personal favorite games ever, is just really, really good. Like, and apparently,
Mm,
from what I've heard, they're not going to be changing anything story wise or
okay.
anything like that.
Okay.
And my guess is maybe they'll just keep the same like voiceover and like sounds from the previous, like the original game. I think that would make
Yes.
sense. And
So
just
it's
kind of,
just so it'll just look just aesthetically it'll just
yeah,
look a full on. So pretty much like like a full on remaster, I guess you can
yeah,
say, like a
yeah.
full
Kind of like what
remaster.
they did with Crisis Core, but not entirely. Well, I mean, they did replace the voices in that, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's yeah, just kind
Yeah.
of like an overhaul in gameplay and look and feel. But
Okay.
Mm.
Oh yeah. To answer your question about the price, it's 60 for
uh,
Okay.
everything that you get,
Okay.
which
Well,
is
you're getting three
it's
games,
not
so I
too
mean
bad.
that's not.
It,
Yeah, you're getting three games, so that's
if you
not bad.
count the original game, like the Metal
Yeah.
Gear games, it's
Yeah.
3, 4,
Well,
5, 7.
because I'm looking at it like this. I'm looking at it as yeah. Well, are those originals coming with it, or are we gonna like? Are they gonna do something where like you get those
No,
later? Like, are they
no,
all
no.
coming in one
It's
package?
it's included in one package.
Okay, so I'm looking at it as just like, hey, you get like 1, 2, and 3, which you can kind of look at those as being like maybe $10, $15 each. And if they're like the original PS1 game, well, if they're like the original games, then yeah, I can see that being at the price point. I was really hoping that Metal Gear Solid would be Twin Snakes instead of the original game. Like I was kind of hoping that'd be the Twin Snakes one because that actually looks a lot better. Because that's like it came from it was released on the GameCube and it's looks way better. So I thought that they were just gonna use that and then just go to PS2, um, Metal Gear Solid 2, and then do Snake Eater. But yeah, I mean that's not bad. That's not bad.
And then the next game that they showed off was WarioWare Move It, which I think I might actually get this game because it's
yeah,
basically a spiritual successor of Smooth Moves on Wii.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
oh, definitely, yeah, yeah. Like I love the WarioWare games. They're super awesome. Like they're just they're really nice, and it's cool to see Nintendo return to form in a way that people like for their party series, like
Mm-hmm.
Mario Party and WarioWare now as well. Like, I mean, we got the game on the 3DS, WarioWare Gold, which was just like a compilation of everything people liked and like the old games and stuff.
Right.
But um, and they tried their hand at a Switch title, but it was almost there. It just kind of like what was it called again? Get It Together? Yeah,
Yep,
Yeah.
that one. That game was fun, but it just kind of it lacked something. It
it was
lacked
it was it
the
was just different
yeah,
than what you expect
and
from
now
WarioWare.
they're kind of culminating both concepts into one, where we have the classic micro game style where you're doing something silly,
Mm-hmm.
with there's also co-op where or multiplayer in a sense where okay, uh, we can all be just bottles and shake ourselves around, or
Yeah.
oh we can throw this thing around or do this or do that, and it's like that's cool. That's what people like about these kinds of games, and it really makes this direct feel like we're back in the era of like the Wii or the 3DS or something. Everything just feels very fun and silly,
Yeah. I understand that.
and especially varied, which we'll definitely get to when we get to the final game of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, Cliff, you continue. Sorry for stealing the show.
No, 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 no. Like you're free to.
All right.
Uh, the next game that was shown off was which I'm actually really this looks really cool. It's called Penny's Big Breakaway, and it's made by the
Yes.
team from that did Sonic Mania,
Oh yeah, that
and
game looks
it looks
amazing.
Oh
really cool.
yeah, there was. I
As soon
saw
as I
that.
saw it, I instantly fell in love. I'm like, okay,
Oh yeah, me
you
too.
don't have to tell me anything. I see it, I want it. This looks cool, and then you tell me it's from like same guys who are doing Sonic Mania. I'm like, yeah, let me do that. First in my head, I'm like, I don't even need to even like see more of it. I already know it's gonna be good.
Yeah, definitely. Like that game looks super good. I'm excited for it. I love how silly the penguins look.
Yeah,
Those guys look
like
awesome.
it looks like something from like the PS1 era,
Hmm.
which it's what like it has the charm of
It is
classic
a it is a really good aesthetic.
platformers.
But yeah, what do we have next on the agenda, Cliff?
Next we have the Star Ocean
I'm
Yes,
remake.
excited for that one. I'm
Second
excited for Star
story.
Ocean
Oh my
because
goodness,
that
me
was
too.
probably that's one of the best Star
Oh
Ocean
yeah,
games that they've done, and the fact that we're getting a I like the whole HD, 2D, 3D type. I like
yeah,
the octo,
me too,
call it the
me too.
Octopath art style. I like that so much, and as it looking at it as an action RPG, it just looks amazing. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, definitely. It looks really good, and I've not played two personally, but I really want to, and I think this remake looks incredible because one one issue I had with the remake of one is that it was pretty much just the PSP version,
Hmm.
which I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
But and that game's great on its own, but you know, taking a fan favorite title like Second Story and just fully remaking it with this style that people really like, that's just very aesthetically pleasing,
yeah,
um, and shaking up the gameplay and stuff. It looks like amazing, and
yeah.
I love to see that, and I couldn't be more excited for it.
Yeah, this will be a whole other conversation, but I would love to see. A lot of people kind of think differently, but I think it would be cool if they did a Chrono Trigger like this. I think Chrono Trigger would really be
Honestly, yeah,
preserved. Like,
I I agree. I personally agree because the 2D on 3D aesthetic is always just it's very nice. It's storybooky. Everything is just kind of, you can use
yeah,
sprites, you can mix sprites with 3D, And
yeah. I feel
I
like it
mean,
just preserves it better too. In
yeah,
my opinion, I feel like it preserves it a lot better if they did
yeah,
it like this.
I mean, like people love the pixel look, but sometimes 3D is just easier to develop for, so why not make a compromise?
Yeah,
And I guess it only makes sense to kind of do something like that. And it's nice that we're seeing more games do this sort of thing too, because it's a good look. I always liked it.
yeah. I did too. Definitely. I can't wait for this one. This is definitely,
Oh yeah.
and this is definitely I know it's coming out for all platforms except for Xbox, but this would either be me buying this for the Switch or buying it for PC so I can play it on my Ally. But either way, it's going to be portable title for me.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Now the second to last thing that was announced, which is I tried saving it earlier, was they announced Amiibo for Tears of the Kingdom,
I can't wait. I'm getting that
Zelda
Ganon
and
one.
Ganondorf.
I'm getting that Ganon one.
And here's where it gets really interesting. So, and,
So Cliff's gonna go on his wild theory
Right.
no,
of it happening only once.
no, I'm not doing time travel theories right now.
No, no,
Basically,
no, 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 no.
what I wanted to say
Not
is
that.
that for those who played Breath of the Wild, you may know that Breath of the Wild got amiibos of all the four champions, and they released around the same time that its DLC came out, and it's very odd that Nintendo would release two amiibo way off in December and not on launch, unless it had to do with upcoming DLC.
Well,
So that's all I want to
I mean,
say.
I can see I can see where you're coming from, but I can also see that if they're releasing them in the holiday, that can be like another way to just make more money from Tears of the Kingdom is just release these two amiibos. Because amiibos take a long time to design and make, so they probably had the Link amiibo already ready to go, but like probably didn't have the go aheads yet for the Ganon and Zelda. So those are probably just gonna be two different. Now, if they were the DLC release for that would be insane. But I'm just looking at it as, yo, I get my freaking Ganon amiibo that I wanted. Because the second I saw Ganon's design in the game, period, I was just like, they better make an amiibo for this. If they're not, I'm gonna have to say something. This is the one amiibo that I really want, is that freaking Ganon, because Ganon looks freaking sick in the game.
Oh yeah.
Like Ganon looks like a Street Fighter character, like 100%. I'm down for that. Like if Nintendo took a chance with Capcom and said, "Hey,
Add Ganondorf.
add Ganon, and we'll let you, if you guys let us have a cloud version, can you make on a Switch? Could you make Ganon as a Street Fighter character? Yeah, sure. Even if they don't, even if they just gave Akuma the Ganon look, I would make Akuma look like Ganon as like DLC. I'll get it no matter what. But yeah, Ganon looks dope. I love Ganon's design in this game. But I'm not putting it past them that they wouldn't release a DLC during that time though.
Oh yeah, like I'm definitely like when they do the September Direct in a few months, that will definitely be on the bingo card for sure.
Wait for it to not be filled.
For it not to be filled. But
Going
yeah.
off your the basis of your theory is just a hunch that this is what they did before.
Well,
Mm.
it's a hunch, but also it makes sense for this game to have DLC just based off of
I mean,
what I've
yeah,
what I've
but
played,
like,
and also once you beat the game Punisher, you'll probably understand why I have those feelings.
Like I
But
can definitely say like the game is worthy of DLC, but I don't think they will release DLC yet. DLC would be like
Yeah.
next year. I think DLC will for
Yeah.
sure be next. They wouldn't do it right now. They wouldn't release DLC right. They'll probably announce it, and then we'll get DLC next year for sure. They might do that.
oh yeah,
But,
like I'm
cause
talking
right
like an
now,
announcement. Like
Yeah.
I don't really care if it comes out this year or not. But I think that it will at least get announced of like, hey, we're doing this. This is what's gonna be. This is how much it's gonna cost, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah. Besides that, we have one last game. It's a very niche game that no one has heard of. It's called Super Mario Bros. Wonder,
oh yeah,
Here we are.
which you could say I am definitely wondering about this game.
Very nice try. Nice try.
ha
I appreciate your
ha.
effort. Nice try.
Hey,
Nice
if I
try.
can get it.
When they do another game like that, I'll give you another shot. I'll give you another shot at that. Appreciate your
But
try.
all I gotta say is it's so good to have 2D Mario actually be well, actually not be like the new soup style. It's actually creative. It actually has actual new stuff to it.
Looks great.
Also
Mhm.
playable Daisy.
Oh yeah.
Playable
Mm-hmm.
Daisy. I just have too much things to say about this game. I'm just really excited to play it.
no
I
worries.
feel like with this game, this is probably being done by like a fresh new team because it just has so many crazy, wild, unique ideas that I don't think the older developers would probably do. So I feel like this is like a fresh new team working on Mario, which is great because it felt stale with the new Super Mario Bros. Games after Wii. Like the first one and the Wii one were fine. They were great games in their own right, and they actually reinvented the series. But
Mhm.
after the Wii version, it kind of got stale.
Yeah,
So I'm actually glad to see bold new changes with 2D Mario.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna like, if it's by a new developer, that's good.
Oh no,
Because I mean not like a new fresh team of developers from Nintendo doing this, but I would definitely say that if like I would definitely say that I wouldn't put it past them if this was the same group of people who worked on those other games and who decided to say, okay, we gave them Super Mario Bros. Twice, right? We gave it for the Wii U and we gave it for the Switch. how can we bring back this beloved 2D Mario series in a new way that's not like Mario Maker, right? That's not like these other ones. And this is definitely, I'm watching it right now. This is definitely something that, for first off, like you said, the art style is the aesthetic of the game is very appealing. That's what draws me in. I'm like, this is a style that they've never kind of touched on, where it's like this weird, like, I don't even want to say like a 2D 3D. It's like a weird like
Yeah, it's
2D almost like 3D aesthetic, but still has that 2D feel to it.
yeah,
It's
it
it's
looks
it's it's sort of like a clay
yeah, it's
style to it.
very I wouldn't necessarily call it any one specific thing. It's very
Yeah.
it's just animated. It's a lot more
Yeah.
animated than
Yeah.
anything we've seen in the past like decade in regards to 2D Mario. And
Mhm.
that's a big thing
Yeah.
because like if you make the jump from like say Super Mario Brothers 3 on the NES to Super Mario World, it would probably feel the same, right? Cuz you're seeing this new look for Mario and he's like he gets his cape on and he runs with his arms behind his back and
Mhm.
he can fly now and he grabs his cape and it's there's so much Mario does in that game. And like in like it's kind of a similar sort of thing here with like we're seeing a Mario that's animated a lot more and instead of just the very samey new Super Mario Brothers look that the the Mario's had where he's just
Yeah.
kind of facing forward looking over there. In this game, everybody's kind of tilted a bit. Like their heads are just
Yeah.
kind of, you get to have a nice side profile and also a front profile.
Yeah, I
Everybody's
get
kind
that.
of, everybody has a good silhouette to them. And that's like super good. Um, and I wanted to just touch upon this as well. Now that I've stolen the floor again, I thought I'd I thought I'd mention that it's so nice that we're seeing weird Mario's again. And by
Mhm.
weird, I mean just not so
Traditional.
traditional, not so
Right.
basic Mario's. Uh, you know, uh, like Odyssey was a very special game. It shook up Mario again, like
Mhm.
in a lot of ways. Um, I mean, it didn't just have Grass World, Water
Sand,
World, Sand
Water World,
World.
Sand World,
Yeah.
Jungle World,
Like you meet
Fire
dinosaurs,
World.
and big birds that like cooking and weird snowmen and a dragon. It's the game's insane, and that's good. And I want to see more insane Mario. And what we've seen in this direct shows promise. It shows that Nintendo isn't afraid to try these new things and go back on their words when saying, "Oh, Mario doesn't need to change," or "Oh,
Mhm.
because they always talk about, or what we've heard in interviews is that Mario is Mario because he's Mario, if that makes any sense. And it's like he doesn't just have to be this blank slate of an idea. He doesn't have to just be, oh, okay, Mario's gonna go here now, gonna go to the grass. Oh, time to fight the Koopalings again. You could put Mario anywhere. Like, Paper Mario is so good because it's so different. Like all those games are just so weird and you're meeting all these original characters and just like a Mario RPG remake and Super Mario Bros. Wonder all seem like it's culminating for a nice future for the franchise and a nice future for Nintendo as well. Because I like seeing Nintendo be weird and try new things because that's kind of what they were built upon.
Mhm.
Yeah, they really were. Like, I mean, when the NES came out, uh, a lot of people who played the NES, that was their first time using a D-pad because back then everything was using like one stick.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So I think it's nice to see weird Nintendo because you know that they're trying like they're trying to be unique, they're trying to be different, and weird Nintendo is always going to be my favorite because you get to
yeah,
see innovations come through.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know about you, Adam, but one thing I really hope this game has, because when the Super Mario 3D World came out on Switch, I just got spoiled by this. I really hope that Wonder has online multiplayer
Yeah,
because it felt so good
I
playing 3D World like
I
with
think it
all
will.
of you guys.
I think it will. Like I think this game could be uh potentially it could potentially be a 10 out of 10 Mario game. Like
Mm-hmm.
if it has just like a nice online multiplayer for anyone to play with their friends. Um like it's got all these characters, it's got all these weird levels, all these gimmicks and stuff. It could be amazing. Like and I guess we just got to wait and see more. I mean, but don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, I'm crazy excited for it. Like Mario deserves this kind of thing. Just it's great.
Yeah. Just to kind of close things off here, uh I think Mario's like you said, like it's you can't keep a character like that in a box for very long, and I think it shows that when we got Odyssey, and it's definitely showing with this title. I think it's harder to do like more unorthodox things when you have a 2D Mario game because you expect it to be more traditional, especially for the hardcore players who like traditional stuff, who don't like change. And I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it was scary for them to kind of say, okay, we're going back to 2D Mario. What can we do? Like it's very hard because it's like, what can you do in a 2D space? How far, like what can you do that's different that you haven't already done and that no one else has already touched? And to kind of this and with this new, besides this aesthetic, right? Besides the aesthetic, like they could have totally just did the aesthetic and gave us the same Mario game. They could have done that,
yeah,
and it would have
yeah,
sold. But instead, they kind of said, okay, well, what can we do that we haven't done? Okay, um, a parallel, a parallel stage, I guess you can say, compared to the original stages and all this wackiness. Okay, 4-player co-op. Okay, oh, we never had Daisy playable, so there's just a lot of things that um that they experimented with and messed with and they tried to do. It's different when it's like a 3D Mario game because you have a lot more room to develop, right? In a 3D space, and we just talked about this. Like it's easier to develop in a 3D space than a 2D space. So why not do them together, right? I'm not saying they did this for this game, but like you said, it's more animated. It's not a stiff Mario running across the thing with no expression, right? You kind of see the Mario's when he goes fast enough, he puts his arms to the side and has a face expression. So there's a little bit more personality to Mario than there was in any other really 2D Mario game. Like you said, we
yeah,
get the
definitely.
more of the expression on the face because it's more of like kind of like what is it? Um like the old like animation styles where it's like, you know, no matter what, no matter how the character turns in like the old like Bugs Bunny animation, whatever, no matter where they turn, you're seeing their face. You're not getting a side profile. You're seeing their
Mhm.
face unless they do that. But in this game, we get to see all of Mario running and doing all of the characters and this new mechanic that they're messing with. So it's definitely something that I'm interested in seeing, and it's definitely something that I really do pray that it does do well, and we can see the kind of the longevity in this game when it comes to like more add like what if we get like a Bowser Wonders spin-off off of this that's included in this one, you know what I mean, like stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely.
So I definitely would like to see something like that for this game. But anyway, we've been going for like 3 hours. So
Oh, holy man.
so this is definitely getting chopped up. I already when we hit the 2 hour mark, I already said yeah, it's almost 3 hours. But when I saw the 2 hour mark, I said yeah, we're chopping this up like for sure, which is cool because it gives me more stuff to work with. But and it's easier to chop this into two because we talked about 4 events, so this is each event has an hour or whatever. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me in this. It was
No
really cool
problem.
to be able
Thank
to
you.
go over this, and I think we still got a little bit of the Game Fest to go. Because for me personally, I'm going to Anime Expo, and then Bandai Namco is announcing stuff there, and I'm praying that we get some some Tenkaichi 4 news. I'm really hoping we
Yes,
get that there.
please. That's what I was hoping
For
for. Like,
Xbox? I thought we were gonna say Xbox
yeah,
for sure.
I've been hoping at like so far. I was hoping we'd see Tenkaichi 4 or like Armored Core 6 recently, and
Oh yeah,
we just kind of haven't had much.
yeah. I think
Um,
Armor Core 6 is coming out pretty soon, so I mean they
yeah,
need to kind of
it is. It is.
their press needs to be a little bit more on that because we haven't seen much.
Mhm.
But anyway, that is it. Hopefully everyone enjoyed watching or listening. Like I said, this is going to be a two-parter, so if you heard the first part and watch the first part and watch this one, we appreciate it. We're gonna come back next month, and I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do something. So hopefully you guys will be there for that. But before we end it, I'm going to give the floor to everybody here. Is anything you guys wanna say? Anything, doesn't matter what it is, plugs, whatever. Before we end off today.
I wanted to say when Cliff was talking about the Pokemon DLC that it's like a little thing for me that I noticed there was a particular Pokemon, and Adam knows this particular Pokemon that I'm interested in.
I sure do.
It's a little Pokemon called Sentret.
Mhm.
It does a bit. It does a little evolution to a Pokemon that is called a Furret.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, we know
and
you're a big fan, Punisher.
I'm a big Furret fan, so I'm glad to see that Furret's gonna be in Sword and Shield now.
Hmm.
And I
Sword and Shield, isn't he in Sword and Shield
or
already?
no, no. I mean, fucking, I'm
The
tired.
other, the other one, Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet Violet.
Yeah.
There we go. Jesus. Anyways, I just want to say that, yeah. Uh, I don't think they'll. I don't think I'll be able to transfer over a Furret that has Light of Ruin in its moveset, but
Well, I think I think certain things they won't let you um transfer over. Well, if it's move sets, unless they have it in the game already,
Yeah,
then yes. If not, then no. They'll
yeah,
flag
because
it.
there are still some unusable moves in
Yeah,
the modern games.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I guess it's my turn then. Yeah, I got nothing much to say other than thank you for having me. I have greatly enjoyed being back on the podcast. It's been quite some time, and I'm always happy to help and be a part of these things because they're always a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back here too. Same with the Punisher being here for the first time.
Mhm.
Glad to have you guys on here.
anytime.
Yeah. What about you,
And
Cliff?
for
Any
me,
closing thoughts?
I just enjoyed this entire thing, like this discussing Summer Game Fest and all the different announcements that has taken place over this entire month. But it's fun. It was fun being able just to talk about uh the things that we enjoyed hearing.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks for having me on. That's you.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, you guys know me. We're here. We're gonna be doing some, like I said, do a podcast once a month, maybe twice, depending on what's happening. Um, I have a ROG Ally review coming. I have to write my script and then record everything, so that's coming soon. And that's it. Oh, if I can get content for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, because they're gonna have a demo of that Anime Expo, I'm definitely gonna do it, and we're definitely
Yes.
gonna talk about it. And I have to have Adam on there when we talk about it, because I know
Oh, absolutely.
we're gonna watch the footage and then talk about it, and then we'll just go from there. But anyway, that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. You guys already know what to do here on the channel. Don't have to say it, but I'll say it anyway. Like, share, and subscribe, and just yeah, watch out for more stuff. But anyway, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys on the next one. You guys take care.